I know you're going to think I did this on purpose, but I didn't. Fate decided that we would start with Dahlia.
Oh,
Nice.
shit, what?
Noise.
No, fate decided. I rolled it.
Oh,
Dahlia.
no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, what? What do I do?
You're gonna do great.
You're already doing great. You're already doing great, honey. Dahlia. It's a little late in the evening already. A recent conquest has just had the door slammed in their face as they're leaving, begging to be like, well, but wait, at least let me make you as the door slams shut. Tell me, what does Dahlia look like?
Dahlia likes to wear a lot of leather. Usually always wearing a leather top and just a simple pair of blue jeans with some high-heeled boots. Doesn't like to switch it up too much, but she's got this kind of vibe she likes to keep to in case she runs into any of her readers. Known for a lot of leather play in her novels.
And what does Dahlia's haven look like? Like, where does she wake up last night?
Oh, she prefers to sleep in a different fancy hotel room each night.
Perfect. Unfortunately, this guy got kicked out before you were able to completely close the deal. He's already becoming a distant memory. What he did to put you off already on the long list of other people who failed to live up to your expectations. And because of that, there is still a bit of a hunger that is gnawing at you. And I need you to make our first roll of the night. And
I'm
tell
ready,
me what
boss.
it is. I believe in you. Did you find your vampire dice?
I did.
Huzzah! Then you were gonna roll one of the blood dice.
Just one of them? Just one red
Just
die?
one. The very first roll you do every night is a rouse check to
I
see
got
if
a
you get hungrier.
blank.
Dahlia. As you stand there by the door, hearing his footsteps fade, you feel a familiar pressure. Claws scraping against the back of your skull. Dahlia, now darling, look at you wasting good meat. I know you think you're too pretty to get down in the mud sometimes, but I know who you really are. I know what you really need. You gonna be back out in the streets in no time, girl. It's just gonna be you and me. And as you feel the voice of the beast echoing through your mind, your hunger increases to 2 because you have failed your nightly rouse check. All of you, you can roll this die. You don't have to tell me what it is yet. But when you wake up, no matter what, you wake up at 1. That is the curse of vampirism. But if you fail your rouse check, you will actually start with 2. And you don't have to tell me just yet, as I'm going to come around here. In fact, as Dahlia stands there listening to the beast make its demands, I'm just kind of come around in the order that you all are on my screen. Warren, tell me, what does Warren look like, and where did he wake up this evening?
Warren woke up in his house. He is a man in his mid 40s. He's getting some kind of graying hair. He's got a very sort of timid expression, and he almost always wears a kind of puffy down vest, usually some kind of a sensible hat, and he has these very kind of just goofy, big glasses cover most of his face. He wakes up at home, his family downstairs, and kind of another day for Warren.
Before we address Warren's rouse check, I'm going to ask you all to do one other thing for me. In Zoom, where you've put your everything you've got in Zoom, after your character's pronouns, put your clan, please. Put your clan. So I'll be able to keep easy track of that. And I'll give you a second, Warren, so I'm not asking you questions while you're typing. Ventru, the Clan of Kings. Warren, for your rouse check, did you pass or did you fail?
I got a 10.
It's fine, Warren. Now, let me ask you this. Is your feeding type Carver by chance?
That is correct. Oh, Cleaver.
Cleaver.
Carver?
Sorry, Cleaver.
Yeah.
Cleaver. It's Cleaver. Sorry. Carver's a different guy. Warren, you tell me, what kind of ship do you run there? Do these people address you like a family member? Do they address you like your master?
They address me as family. The general kind of atmosphere, it's usually very very tired, because they're usually quite drained. But looking in, this would just appear to be a kind of normal Minnesota household on a glance.
One of the hallmarks of the curse of vampirism, the curse of Cain, is while the sun is in the sky, you are a corpse. To anyone looking at you, to anyone expecting you, you are a dead body and nothing more until the sun dips below the horizon and the animating principle takes over again. And as your eyes flutter open, you hear a gentle knock at the door. Warren, honey, are you awake?
Oh yeah. I'm up, hon.
Sorry, honey. I just didn't want to disturb you if you were still sleeping. There might be a little bit of an issue that you might need to attend to momentarily, if that's all right with you, of course.
Oh well, what's the situation, hon?
You, being a Venture, again, proud member of the Clan of Kings, unequivocally the best clan.
Nice.
Have thought ahead, and you all have a secret knock for distress, but there's levels of distress. And she just sort of says like, oh, I don't know, and sort of taps out the small problem knock, almost like she's just idly thinking about something. Just maybe you should come take a look, okay? Maybe come down in like 2 shakes.
Sounds good, hon. I'll be down in 2 shakes.
Oh, good. Good. Kids, I told you to stay away from those nice people. And you hear her voice receding as we move over to Valencia. Same thing, Valencia. What does she look like and where did she wake up this fine evening?
Valencia is a later 20s looking Latin woman, long black hair, voluminous. I think she wakes up in her haven, which is a big ass mansion in, I'm gonna say, the valley. Why the fuck not?
Of course. You're always welcome there.
It's my favorite place. Always sort of dresses fancifully, as she's got the money to do so. Very much in, like, it's still like reminiscent of the grunge style, but like extremely elevated, like wears the tight black dresses, but like, accessorizes it in specific ways. And And I think she wakes up at home, ready to start yet another night in LA.
I mentioned to all of you, just sort of as an aside, especially because I haven't seen everybody's character sheets and I couldn't keep track of all of it. If I had, if you've got things like ghouls, herd, any of those kind of things that might be relevant, just tell me at the time.
Mhm.
And for your rouse check, did you pass or fail, Valencia?
I failed. I rolled a 2.
As you, again, sort of stretch out a little bit, putting on this body almost like a garment in and of itself, and stand in front of the mirror, getting dressed for the evening, prepared to go out, you hear it. As you look up and down and study yourself approvingly, you hear, ugh, you're wearing that old thing?
I look fantastic in it, and it brings all the little groupies to where I need them to go.
Listen, dear, I know you think that you're being fashion forward, I think is the word you used. And I know you think that style changes over time, but I assure you, style is one of the only few constants in this world. Trends come and go. But if you're going to represent us, if you're going to be a proper rose, you're going to have to be pruned.
I will keep that in mind.
I tire of reminding you, and yet here we both are.
A reminder's good every now and again.
And
Helps perspective.
your hunger also increases to 2.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw a little curveball and jump down here to the bottom. So, Marcus or Marcus? I want to make sure I say it right. You unmuted yourself in Zoom, but I think you might be hardware muted because the mute button went off, but still don't hear you. Can anybody else hear him?
Cannot.
Nope.
No. The Zoom
cannot.
the Zoom mute symbol did go away, but still can't quite hear you. I'll tell you what, mess with it. Take all the time you need. I'll just go with Adrian, and we will come to you next, Marcus. Adrian, same question. What does Adrian look like, and where did you wake up?
Well, Adrian, not unlike Warren, usually has sort of a puffy vest, but unlike theirs, mine is heavily patched. If it started as secondhand, it would easily pass as fourth hand at this point. And I probably have very patched jeans, an athletic shirt, either hiking or athletic shoes. And although I don't outwardly look dirty by any means, at the right angle, you could see spots of dust just about everywhere. Hair's a little disheveled, but in a charming way. And probably the first or second syllable that I say for any statement comes out a little bit more gruff. So no real visible scars, a little bit dirty, very used, and used as emphasized clothing. And I'm going to wake up at the utility sub basement of a garden center outside of a specialty night community garden.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
And with that rouse check, did you pass or fail?
That was a bestial fail, if you will.
For this, it actually does. You don't have bestial fails, but for our purposes,
Thank nod.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah,
Okay, hey, that's fine.
Yeah, you do.
I'll mark 1 pip. You tell me if a third one needs hitting.
No.
Please.
This is your first game. We're among friends. No. But I would like the. You say wait. What would you say? This is or is not your first game?
I've read through the entire book and I've played Bloodlines too many times, but I have yet to have the chance to actually play the game.
I just like the record to show the fact that your first roll ever was a bestial fail is like very emblematic of the Vampire the Masquerade experience. So just
B Dave, if you will, I might not have a chance to play with you again. It is a one shot. Do what you must.
It's early. We're still among friends. Adrian, you hear her.
Yeah.
Normally, the way the voice comes to you is growls, roars. You barely even remember the hiking trail where she descended upon you. But you feel this fury building up in you. Inside clothes stink bullshit. And I'm going to ask you to do something slightly different from me, Adrian. I'm going to ask you to make our first willpower roll of the game, because usually this is something that would come up later. The way willpower works, somewhere on your sheet you should have a willpower rating. It's kind of near the top.
Yep.
You're going to roll that many dice, but you're only going to roll black dice. You might recall I said you roll blood dice for almost everything. The only roll that you don't roll blood dice is willpower, because the whole point is you fighting the beast, so the beast has no say in it. So just roll your unspent willpower. I'll tell you what it means to spend willpower later, should that become relevant.
I have, and forgive me if you will, for a regular D10 is
6 to 10 is a success.
Perfect. I have 4 successes. And I cut you off. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. When Gangrel Bestial fail, one of the things that happens to them is they physically change. Something about them changes. Their fangs get longer, their claws get longer. Something happens. What happens when Adrian loses control?
Now is this when my bestial form, not my fight cool bestial form, but my bestial aspect manifests? Are you asking for that, or like what it looks like when I flip out?
It should probably be analogous to that, but it's expressly when you lose control, something about you changes. So it's like
I know that's my Bane. I wasn't sure if that's what you're asking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking for the Bane, but what that looks like is 100% up to you. So what does that look like?
Without giving all of the backstory I laughably came up with today, unfortunately, Adrian is recovering from probably a little bit of toxic masculinity and has since learned that alpha mentality may or may not have any true merit to it. And his early days as a vampire have given him a lot of flack in the sect because, boy howdy, did it seem like he probably belonged more as a werewolf than a vampire. So if any of my clan sees me, the wolf ears that pop out are not going to be a boon, and my outfit now consists of a beanie, but very large ears.
You feel the ears coming out. You feel the claws growing unbidden. You hear her in your mind. The alpha, just a pup. Go, kill, run. But because you got those 4 successes, you do hold it in, Adrian. And you tell me, what does it look like? It starts to come out. You start to lose it, but you don't. So you tell me what happens.
This is a little bit tumultuous because the night garden I work at is one I've been cultivating for quite some time. And as a result, some very crunchy citizens of the area may well be outside. And what frightens me most is their discovery of me in my not normally composed manner.
Adrian, are you okay, Adrian? There's weird noises.
Yeah.
Adrian, no, we're gonna come take a look and make sure you're okay.
It's allergies. Stay out.
Let them in. Let them in.
You stay out.
I'm always in. But Adrian, because you made that willpower save, I will only have you go up the 1 hunger. But your night is definitely getting off to a tumultuous start.
Both of my very real dogs are confused, and I think I destroyed a lot of soil bags and gardening tools as well.
They're like, what? Kill? Run? We're in? Yeah. Where? We're going killing?
Anytime.
Yeah. Marquios, did we get that audio Snafu sorted? Still can't hear you. Is Zoom set to the wrong mic? I might have a very jank workaround. Do you have a cell phone? Because if you join the Zoom call via cell phone and turn your camera off, we can get phone audio but camera video, and we'll still have you on here. We'll get there. All right. But in the meantime, we'll jump ahead one more here to Kurt while we're sorting this out. Same thing, Kurt. What does Kurt look like? Where did Kurt wake up?
So Kurt's kind of, I don't want to say the prototypical hideous Nosferatu, but he's not a looker. He's got, like, grayish skin with scars upon scars. The only thing seemingly left of his past life are these vibrant blue eyes that are kind of dulled with cataracts almost, and he's got this long, stringy black hair.
Hang on a second, Kurt. I want to give you my full attention. Drew.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, Discord was stealing my audio.
Ah, ha, ha. All right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, don't do it.
No, you're in. Well, since we're talking to Kurt, let's proceed with Kurt. But that worked. We got you now. Okay. But wait, we can hear you now. All right.
That's perfect.
Okay, Kurt. Sorry. You said stringy hair, piercing eyes, and I didn't hear the other part of your description. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good. He's kind of, you can tell he was young when he was turned, or embraced rather, but it's definitely in the bog mummy type way. Like, we can tell mummy ages. It's kind of like that. He typically is like, he's probably right now wearing a shirt that says something incredibly snarky, like, don't ask about my skin condition.
Excellent. And where did you fall asleep? Where did you wake up is more importantly. Where you fell asleep and where you woke up may be two very different answers.
It is an abandoned apartment complex that I've been squatting in for the past 6 months.
Excellent. And with that rouse check, did you pass or did you fail?
I'm pretty sure I failed. I rolled an 8.
An 8 is a pass. An 8 is
Oh!
a pass. Yeah. Excellent. 1 second.
There we go. It's raining outside. Perfect
Excellent.
mood set.
This is perfect. You come to, and is there anybody else in this abandoned building with you?
If there is, I certainly don't know them. Or know of them.
An interesting thing about this game is in this world, the book is very self-contradictory. On the one hand, it says in places, a kindred is a corpse. You are a walking dead body, and even a casual observation is like anybody's like something that is dead. In other places, it's not like that at all. You just maybe might like look a little sick or something. So it's very contradictory. And one of the things is the Nosferatu are supposed to hide the most from people, because anybody that sees you will immediately know you're this non-human monster. However, I've experienced personally here in Los Angeles more than most places. I've walked around in special effects makeup and seen it 100 times and nobody will blink. If anything, they're like, those are some sick prosthetics. They won't.
Well, also with the new Nosferatu movie out, and how people reacted to Orlok.
Yeah.
Yummy.
But no, Beth is a bad Beth.
Yummy.
No, Beth, that's not what you're supposed to take from that. No, it's a bad Beth.
Listen, I get it.
I haven't watched that movie, but apparently they're getting all the bitches. Is all I know.
There's a Maggot Riddle's corpse fetish, but we're not here to kink shame. It's fine. I spent a lot of time on the internet after that. I'm like, you weren't supposed to. No, you weren't supposed to. Oh, okay. But I said there is definitely a descending list of reactions, and I think that is an actual monster is like 3rd or 4th on the list in this town in particular. But as you wake up, you do see outside a car parked in your parking lot. It is sort of like a big-bodied Cadillac, but not quite stressed. And it's got the headlights off, but those yellow running lights are still on.
That's not good.
And while you ponder that, now I'm not gonna come to Marcus out of spite. We're gonna jump over to Miss Esther. I'm gonna keep you waiting. Esther. Same thing. What does Esther look like? Where did they wake up last night?
Miss Esther is ugly. They are like 2 steps shy from stepping off a autopsy table, limboing under the Masquerade breach. Just purple veins, just not looking too hot. Very sickly looking, perpetually tired. Brown skin, black curly hair, glasses. They woke up in the basement section of the funeral home where they work at.
And same thing. Did for that rouse check, did you pass or did you fail?
I passed.
Excellent. As you sort of come to where in the basement do you sleep? Do you sleep in a coffin? Do you sleep in a closet? Do you have a bedroom?
There's nothing in there. It's just there's like no bed, no like lamp, nothing homey, just on the floor.
Just a room where you collapse. Perfect. I love it. I'm gonna ask you to give me not the second roll of the game because everybody rolled rouse checks, but the first skill check of the game. Give me your wits plus awareness.
All right, let's see here.
And wits plus awareness is basically the perception check of this game. Hey, hooray.
And awareness.
In my mad scramble to try and get out here, I threw my phone down while I was changing clothes, and then it disappeared.
3 successes.
Perfect. Have you played this before, by the way?
Yes.
Oh, well, you know what's up then. I was going to talk you through figuring out if it was crits or not, but you know what's happening. With 3 successes, you're pretty sure you hear a couple of people walking around upstairs. There shouldn't be any funerals or family hours or showings or anything of the like on the menu for today.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Great.
While I leave you to ponder that, now, Marcus, what does he look like and where did you fall asleep last night?
Marcus wakes up
and can't hear you. Okay, but what? I can't hear. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Yeah, we can't.
Don't do it to the man. Don't do that.
Okay.
Marcus wakes up in his apartment. He's mid to late 20s, short dark hair, kind of conventionally attractive features, in short beard. Is his general look. He wears like street clothes, jeans, t-shirt with like a dark hoodie most of the time.
Excellent. And where did you wake up?
My apartment.
Oh, yes. Sorry. What's the apartment look like?
It's a small, simple, like just a normal apartment, kind of minimalist furniture because he only stays here to sleep during the day. So there's not too much in ways of decorations here.
And for that rouse check, did you pass or did you fail?
I have passed.
Excellent. As you wake up, you see that there is a note that has been slid through your mail slot in the front door. You've got a couple friends, both living and unliving, and it is not unusual for you all to like pass things along this way because it can't be hacked or intercepted.
Okay. I'll look at the note.
It's from a friend of yours. You recognize the handwriting, and it says "Suits snooping around, clearing out," and it's signed Spike.
Okay.
While you ponder that, Marcus, we come back to Dahlia. As you stand there, the beast's words still echoing in your ears, you almost find yourself, normally you would have been panting almost out of habit, but of course your dead body is still and cold. No sweating, no deep breaths, no heartbeat or pulse. Just almost a fire that burns without consuming the fuel underneath somehow, or at least not consuming the fuel in the way that you might expect. And while you prepare yourself to move on with the night, and you turn to face the lavish suite that you occupy, and perhaps pick up your phone and call someone else that you know that you can rely on to meet your very particular needs, the sight comes upon you again. As a moon child, it is not wholly unusual for something to happen to give you a vision of things that were, things that are, and things that have never been.
It's usually how I get my story ideas.
But you see a swirling mass of visions. You see gardeners clad in black. You see them spreading out far and wide, picking interesting flowers from all over the place. One of them blue, one a young rose, somehow desperately in need of pruning. You see a colorful but useful weed that has been plucked up out of the ground. You see something that looks like a crumpled dandelion that is sparkled up out of the concrete. You see some sort of night blossoming algae that usually only grows on pipes and underbellies of things. And you see a lily, the color of the pale moon, and you see them go out and they're picking all of these flowers and they're just jamming them into a bouquet together. And you feel a hand coming towards you as if you also are a flower to be plucked and rudely bundled together. And then you see a swirling fountain of gold, and you hear laughter, a woman's laughter. It rings almost like a finger around the lid of a crystalline glass. It is simultaneously beautiful but piercing, almost deafening. It is something that should be pleasant but actually is anything but. And as that screech gets louder and louder and louder and louder, you see that same bouquet of flowers being passed around a room of people that look like they have huge bloodshot eyes, long, almost impossibly long fangs, like they are just wholly in the grips of both passion and avarice and hunger. It is they are somehow experiencing the height of the beast and the height of humanity at exactly the same time. And they start to engage in what looks like it almost is an orgasmic revelry. It is a borderline orgy, but as you're looking and as these people are beginning to figuratively and possibly even literally consume each other's flesh, at first, it is a pleasing sight to behold because you've had an interesting life, Dahlia, and you've been to some interesting parties. But you see, even as the blood starts flowing, it becomes clawing and violent. And you see kindred and mortal alike being ripped open and consumed. And even as they are dying, they seem unfazed by this. And as the blood continues to flow towards the far corner of a room, you see two things laying on the ground: a hammer and a screw. And as you're taking in this scene, you are rudely brought out of it by a banging on the door of your hotel room.
I first very quickly grab my notebook and my pen and I write down title concept, The Floromancer, for next possible novel project. And then I make my way over and I very slowly crack the door open with the lock.
I won't even make you roll with your wits and awareness being so high. As you reach for the door, you hear a man's voice say, "Don't knock so roughly, she's a guest." And he turns and looks at the other one and he's like, "Well, the lady pays us for haste, not politeness." And you hear the first voice say, "I assure you she pays for both. Don't knock like that again. If it gets to that point, it's boots, not knocking. You're new here, you'll catch on." And at that moment, you crack the door to see two men in suits, and one of them turns and he says, Miss Dahlia, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to reach for his coat, but he just stops for a moment. He says, "May I,
May you what, dear? You inviting yourself into my home?
No,
For the
no,
evening?
I need to get something out of my suit coat, but I didn't want you to think that we strangers might be, here aggressively." "May I?" He reaches in and he very clearly pulls out a burner phone and slides it through the crack.
I go ahead and I just unlock the thing and open the door all the way.
They look at each other and they just sort of nod, and the first man steps inside, but the second man stays outside. And he goes, "Ma'am, I'll just make sure you aren't disturbed."
I nod and take the phone.
As he hands you the phone, you realize there's a call that is already connected. And you hear a pleasant, silky voice with a very light transatlantic accent. It is a woman's voice, which I can only partially portray because there's limits to what I can do. "Well, hello there. You are a tricky little bird to catch, but I have caught you. Yes, I have."
Y'all are gonna have to tell me who I have the pleasure of speaking to.
Oh, bless your heart. You are so young, and that accent is simply divine. I could just eat it up. It's like just rolling around in Tennessee Williams. Listen, you don't even know what you did to cross me, which is why I didn't have the doors to your haven nailed shut and set on fire. But don't worry, sweet pea. I'm going to give you a chance to get back on my good side. And believe me, there are many advantages of being on my good side. So just come with these gentlemen. There's a car outside. See you soon. Toodles. And the phone goes off.
I just kind of hold it out and I'm like, y'all, this is a joke, right?
Unfortunately, I assure you it's not, ma'am. And he just motions towards the door. He's like, "We are parked outside."
All right, I go.
As you come downstairs, you see a nice, brand new Cadillac. You can tell it is the type of vehicle that Actually, you give me your wits and awareness. Let's see exactly what you can tell about this vehicle.
Wits and awareness.
Wits and
That's-
awareness.
Mm-hmm. Where do I find awareness?
It is under that same column. It's the one you've got the most.
Same thing. Okay. Oh shit.
Mhm.
2 hunger die.
Replace. So you'll your total.
It's like 8 dice total.
For you, I believe so. Let me pull up your character sheet. That sounds about right. Your wits is 4. Your awareness is 4. That is 8 total. Yep, 2 of those should be blood dice. That is correct.
Okay, so I have no idea what this means, but I've got on the black dice, I've got 4 blanks and
Mhm.
2 anks.
Mhm.
And then on the red dice, I have a blank and it looks like a vampire face.
That is 3 total successes because none of those unks have the stars on them, right?
No.
Yep. That is 3 total successes, which is plenty. But as you come up and you look at this car, the only thing you can tell is that it is big and it is probably armored. And as they pull the door open,
I'm still convinced this is like somebody from the publishing house. My new agent.
Completely
They've been
valid.
super dramatic before.
Completely valid. However, as they open the back door, the inside of the car is just the height of luxury. And there are 2 guys who look very different, but either of them would exactly be to your taste. You tell me what they look like.
They're both Pedro Pascal.
Somehow, they're both there. In fact,
Excellent choice.
the moment you say that, one of them says, I'm Pedro and this is Pascal.
Fuck yes.
Is there anything, and I do mean anything, we can do for you? Your wish is our command. Anything.
And they want me to get into the car too, right? Like that's
The 2 men in suits are still just waiting outside. One of them has his hand on the door for you to get in. Those Pedro and Pascal are in the car.
and they're human.
They are.
Okay, so I climb in and I would like to feed on them. How do I can I just
Just immediately right into it.
Yeah.
And
I close the door and I'm like,
great, your meals
Here,
on
boys.
wheels, right? As you just sort of get in and you just kind of come towards them, you see Pascal goes, okay. And the first man in the suit just closes the door. There are mechanics for hunting, but in a situation like this, you don't have to do any such thing. The only thing I need to know is, do you intend to drain either or both of them completely and bring your hunger to 0, or do you intend to just feed normally and leave them alive and your hunger at 1?
I'll leave them alive because I don't fully know the situation here. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna nibble away until I feel satisfied, and then
Being fed upon is very pleasurable for humans. This is a family show. I don't have to be too graphic. You're a siren, but everybody has a great time in the back of that SUV. The humans are very happy. Okay? The car glides through the streets of Los Angeles into the heart of the valley in the city of Van Nuys. There's guards posted outside a high barbed wire fence slides open to allow your vehicle through. Up ahead, a gleaming white aircraft carrier stands open with a shining Gulfstream jet sitting inside, but otherwise it seems vacant. As you get there, you see one of the suited men opens the door to you and just sort of looks in at the tangle of arms and legs in the back of the car and is like, do you need a few more minutes, ma'am, or
just
you
a few
ready to
more,
depart?
honey. Just a few.
It's he turns and looks and he's like, excellent. And he just slams the door shut. Which at that exact moment, did we lose Warren or did we just lose Warren's camera? Oh, there you are. Warren. A similar group of men arrived at your home with a similar phone call. And you also find yourself pulling in the back of one of these cars to this aircraft hangar. Inside, there were two women who looked eerily like your wife when you opened the door. One of them looks like she looks just now. The other one looks like she looked when she was much younger. Do you choose to feed on either of them?
I do not feed on either of them at all, but I do make sure to alert both of them that I'm going to need to send word to Peggy and the church group to get them tickets to wherever it is we're going, because we need the Knutsons and we need the Torvalds to participate. I know they've booked out some time this month in case we have an opportunity for a vacation. So I would just pass that along to them.
I would say you would have had a chance to talk to your wife before you left. As long as you're not hostile with the men who arrived, they're not hostile with you. So
No.
if you were like, I need a minute to talk, they were like, great, so you would have a chance to set all that in motion.
Okay, very good. Then, well, do they tell me how long it's going to be before I get to sync back up with my people?
They don't.
Okay, then
You
that
get a very similar phone call. All of you get a very similar phone call. The woman doesn't really answer any questions. She just says, "You're going to do this," and hangs up.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I express nothing but confusion whenever they make these kinds of offers to me. I act like I have no idea what they're even talking about.
The women in the car, particularly in the car that you don't feed on, are very conversant in everything that you like. They know about church politics. They have a surprisingly informed opinion on recent advances in like choral music. They're excellent conversationalists. When you decline feeding on them, they immediately shift gears to like, what's the next thing we can do to be of some use?
Then we spend the next however long talking about insurance.
They, again, shockingly informed. One of them very much knows what you're talking about, and the other one answers like very interesting, probative questions until you pull into this hangar and the door opens. In Valencia, similarly, who would have been waiting inside the limo for Valencia?
So I have the scene queen predator type, meaning I have the prey exclusion clause. So basically, honestly, the most important bit would be that they are of the sort of alternative subculture, and yeah, I will be eating them.
Same thing. Do you take the last drop to drop your hunger to 0, or do you simply feed on them as normal?
Would Valencia care? My gut's telling me no.
Well, I will. How old is Valencia?
Honestly, I kind of want her to be older. I kind of want her to be like 100.
If by 100 you would know, leaving a string of dead bodies, especially when you don't know who they belong to, is probably
good. Yeah, no, I won't. I'll
probably not optimal. You may not care, but just probably not optimal.
Probably not optimal. No, you're correct. Okay.
Your two cars pull in at the exact same time. Do either Warren or Valencia have any ranks in fame by chance? Fame, infamy, notoriety, any of the things where a person might know somebody?
No, indeed.
No, I don't think so.
Then as the doors open, you see each other as described. Alternative couture in Midwest soccer dad. Both get out of two different cars as you hear gentle sounds of pleasure emanating from a third car that is like rocking just faintly. And you notice all of these suited men, they're not identical. They're clearly different people, but they could have come off a conveyor belt. They've all got the same kinds of suits, the same rough, rugged good looks. It's almost like if you had a oh shoot, hang on. Let me look up here. Who do I want? If it's almost like if you went to a Tom or to a no, I need the right person. That's not who I want. It's almost like if you went to a Henry Cavill like look-alike beauty pageant. These guys are all that. The ones in the suits, the ones in the cars, or whatever you're into. The ones in the suits all kind of look like him. And again, they clearly mean business. But except for the guards at the gates, no one is openly hostile. So as the two of you come out, you see each other.
Well, hey, how you doing there? Quite a getup you got there.
Why won't you have yourself? What's your name?
Oh, I'm Warren Grimble.
Now, I don't mean to interrupt, Warren, but I have to, because Toreador have a clan bane against ugly things.
Oh no.
Okay.
So Valencia, you tell me. You tell me if this rises to the level. It is up to you.
I'd say this is more funny to her than ugly. This is like, he's like out of a sitcom. This is hilarious.
Warren is just the most forgettable kind of face you can imagine.
No, yeah.
Perfect. Adrian. First, Adrian, would you have gone with these guys without any sort of altercation of any kind?
Most evenings, I would have said yes. However, based on my two hunger, I do wonder if that's up to me or not.
It is. However,
Yeah,
what is Adrian's feeding type?
One word: vegans. Yes, I am a scene queen, and they are vegan.
Good thing you're going to LA.
High five.
Would same thing?
Queen.
Would Adrian have drained them completely, either or both of them, or would you simply have fed?
Would have fed. No draining.
When this fourth car pulls up, those of you that are already out there, the guys in suits get out. They're slightly disheveled. You can see there's like some patches of dirt, and like they're kind of trying to rebutton the suit and smooth themselves out a bit. And even as they open the back of the car, it's a mess in there. But you do see two very bohemian looking people laying happily exhausted kind of on the seats that are torn and ripped. It is like, who knows what has happened back there as Adrian steps out. And Dahlia, I'm going to say at that moment is when a lady decides to present herself as well. So as you step out, you simultaneously see the arrival of this slightly disheveled man, Midwest soccer father, haute couture, Toreador, and the four of you are standing there.
Don't mind the dust cloud following me out. I kind of got a pig pen thing going on.
Oh, hey, you do you. Don't mind us. I'm Warren Grimble.
I'm assuming you're here for whatever this is.
I stare at Warren for probably about the better part of 10 seconds, listening to what you just said, Valencia. But then I look at Valencia and Dahlia and say, either of you see Fargo? Been meaning to see that TV show, but this guy, you from Fargo?
You're from a sitcom, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, Fargo. That's I'm from Bemidji, but Fargo's pretty nice. I go there from time to time.
3 more seconds pass. Bemidji's not a good TV show name. And then I introduce myself to all three of you. I'm Adrian. Hi. And there's dust on my hand as I reach it out to shake.
I give you like fingertips. Just like
you and I are gonna be besties. Hold on.
What I will say is Dahlia has 3 ranks in fame. She is a gothic horror writer. So at 3 ranks, all of you will at least recognize her face. Maybe you've just like seen her in passing as you were looking at something. I leave it up to you if you're a gothic horror novelist fan who knows her. So you either know of her or you're like, oh shit, you wrote that thing. I leave it up to you.
My herd loves your books. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because you put it out to me in the Discord, I forgot to put the fame. Apparently fame, I think, is part of the Scene Queen thing. Or like
Yep.
you tagged me with that and I'm like, oh shit, oops.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
forgot.
It's a
Teen
lot.
Queens get
Yeah.
one. Mhm.
All right. So the fame one, the scene queen, is your famous in your circle. So
Understood.
like
Cool.
other hardcore kids know you, or like vegans know you, or
You're good.
like that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just. I'm like, oh god, did
yeah.
I forget something?
No, you're good.
My
I've
bad.
probably forgotten all kinds of things. It's as your fame increases, is basically is the reach. Like you could get to the point that it's like everyone knows you for being a vegan. Like now I can't think of any famous vegans. ever.
John Robbins,
About to say they don't shut up about
son
it.
of Baskin Robbins.
Leonardo
Yeah, exactly.
DiCaprio.
Right.
That
There you
vegan
go.
teacher?
Right.
That's
Oh.
the only one that I can think of.
That one teacher lady from TikTok that we all don't like.
Yeah, her.
Mhm.
That vegan teacher.
Marcus.
Kind of a stand on my
Oh,
community. Anyway,
sorry. I leave it up to you all whether or not you know who Dahlia is or not as she gets out of the. And Dahlia, you do find Pedro does just sort of reach out and like kind of gently grab the hem of your coat, a response you're very used to, and he does say, "Oh, I forgot. Can I get your autograph?"
As I'm like looking at everybody else, I turn and I just kind of like sign his chest.
As
Damn.
you're signing it, you realize he's got a tattoo of like your main character's name like above his heart.
wow, that's not even Sharpie she's using.
He's like, I'm just gonna get this filled in. Oh my God, thank you so much. Listen, if there's ever anytime you wanna, and right when he starts, one of the guys in black slams the door. Like, we don't do that here, actually.
I'm gonna presume none of y'all are from the publishing house.
Frank, not.
Not me.
No. I'll take an autograph though.
I'd like turn and start signing your arm.
Miss Esther. Same thing. Who was waiting in the limo for you?
Quick question. Would they know about my feeding habits or no?
They do. You don't know how they do, but they do. Like
The
the
freaky part.
the interior of the limo is like custom for you. It's like because Warren specifically feeds on his family. They can't provide that, but they can provide people that look like them, you know? So it's like the thing you need is in the limo though.
Okay, so there's nobody in the back seat. It's just filled with bags of blood.
But you find as you're looking at them, the bags of blood are labeled both with age and like stuff about the person.
Mm.
It's like 20-year-old runner from Colorado, 35-year-old exhausted stockbroker. It's like just like a rack of things. There is a person back there though. There is a young woman who looks almost like a 20-something Helena Bonham Carter. Wild, sort of, tangled hair, like directly from the set of a Tim Burton movie. And she just sort of like taps her fingers back and forth, and she's like, so you live in a place with dead bodies. I kind of want to get into like mortuary sciences. I was thinking maybe I could become a mortician. I think that'd be like really cool. Is that what you do, or do you just live there? Because I'm not here to pass judgment. I just really think it's interesting.
It's just my job.
I mean,
It's just what I do.
I mean, do you like it? Because you could do anything, and that's the thing that you choose to do. I mean, I think it's probably pretty peaceful because they don't really talk too much. Although if you hear them talking, maybe you should tell somebody. But I mean, otherwise, I think it'd be like pretty neat.
Can I tell this person is human or not?
So, technically, this is another one of those weird things. When I say the book is completely contradictory, there's no way to know. Unless you have something like a sense the beast is a specific power that allows you to know that sort of thing. But I will tell you, she's breathing, she's sweating. You see her like take a chip and put it in her mouth at one point. If she's faking, she's quite convincing. You're pretty sure she's human.
I don't really like talking about my personal life with strangers. I'm sorry. But if you want to be a mortician or someone, like, go for it. Follow your dreams.
My name's Calliope, and she holds out a hand to shake. She's like, "No, we're not strangers."
I'd like to blush of life.
So, here's how the blush of life works. I'm glad someone did it. All of you ostensibly are corpses, but you can make yourself fake being alive for a time. You can consciously approximate forcing the blood through your veins that will make your skin take on the hue of life. You can force yourself to breathe and have a pulse and even sweat. But in order to do so, you have to make a rouse check. So roll a hunger die, because there's a chance that you can get hungrier when you do it.
Success.
Success. You see again the blush of life comes upon you, and when she do you shake her hand?
I do shake her hand.
She's like, oh, so warm. I thought you'd be cold. I don't know why I thought you'd be cold, because you walk around cold people. I mean, that's a common misconception. Is that hurtful? Is this a stereotype? I'm sorry.
I appreciate your apology. A little hurtful, but I appreciate it.
Oh, she's going to be so mad at me if I've offended you. I'm not supposed to offend you. I'm supposed to relate to you, but I'm going to tell you a secret. They didn't really know what you were into, because you don't talk to a lot of people. You don't leave a very big footprint. That's what I was told. So they were like, they wanted me to come so I could talk, because they thought maybe you and I would get along, which I don't know. That seems kind of hurtful, because when the suits start talking, I don't know what they're talking about. And they got these like insurance girls, and there's these like vegan hikers. And then there's like two dudes that look like Pedro Pascal, which is weird, but I mean, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yums. And like the biggest rats I've ever seen in my life. Oh, sorry. Hi, yeah, but now we're friends.
So, as friends, you're saying there's more of us, more people more people I'm going to be meeting.
Yeah, they're right there. And you see the car pulls in, and there is a group of people just standing, sort of talking to one another, as you see 3 other cars, for 6 total. What a coincidence. Come pulling in to the lot here, as some of the people are already out and talking, and some aren't. And as they open the door for you, Esther, Marcus, same thing. Who was waiting inside the car? Who or what was waiting inside the limo for Marcus?
I'm not too sure. Because Marcus he's a consensualist, so he has to ask, or he prefers to ask for permission, and it usually tends to be people whom he's helped out of a bad spot before, or like help get them back off their feet, or someone that he knows well enough to do so.
There's only one person in your car, Marcus. Everybody else had 2. You've had 1. And it's an older guy. He's a Vietnam vet, so he's pushing 70 now, because it's been a while. That you help get cleaned up, help him get an apartment, help him get a job at the grocery store and kind of get on his feet. His name's Sammy. And when you open the door to the car, Sammy's like, Marcus, you are not going to believe this, man. These crazy guys grabbed me, and they were like, hey man, you want to make $1,000? $1,000. I said, all I got to do is like ride in the car and, talk with you. And if I got to like top you off or something, like whatever, wow, look at this shit, man. Look at this. Like, and he holds up like a crystal carafe with some alcohol in it. And he's like, I don't even know what this is. It smells like Jack Daniels, but I mean, I'm like, Marcus, come on, just the once. Can't I just the once? Can't I just for old time's sake, I'm never gonna have alcohol this expensive again. I promise I'll go back on the wagon tomorrow, man. Like, but ooh.
And if you think that's a thing you can control, Sammy, then I'm not the person to tell you can't.
Man, I hate it when you do that reverse psychology bullshit. Okay, fine. And he just like puts it back down. But he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out. He is kind of crumpled in his pocket, but you see they are very crisp $100 bills. And he's got 10 of them. Somebody gave him $1,000. And he's like, this is the best night of my life. Hey man, I won't make it weird or whatever, but I mean, you want to, you need to get your fill.
I'm good, but thank you.
All right, great. Who are these people? Where are they taking us? Where'd
I
they
was
take
gonna
you?
ask
They said,
you
I just
the
got to roll
same
it.
thing.
I just had to ride along. Well, okay. So they came when I was at work, right? And I said, I can't leave work because I can't lose this job. They were very polite, like big old boys, though. Like they look like Superman or like The Witcher. I don't know if they look more like Superman or The Witcher, really, or like a spy. But they were like very polite, and they broke me off the cash. I got my bread. I got in this car, and now is now.
Okay. Well, guess we can see where this goes.
Yeah, man. Just like, look at that. Ooh, that's an airplane. Oh, shit, is that a monster? And as you look out the window, you see a Nosferatu standing with all these other people. And you see Sammy runs over and like literally grabs your arm, Marcus. And he's like, is this like a film shoot or something? Are you making a porno, man? Like, look at all these beautiful motherfuckers out here.
I wish I could tell you, pal. I really do.
I'm glad you think I'm beautiful.
You see, he kind of stares at you a second and he just goes like,
I wave.
Marcus, is the monster man talking to me? Like, that makeup is like realistic.
It is pretty good, isn't it?
Wait, is it a monster man? Is it a monster woman? Like, I don't mean to be inappropriate. Is that monster person talking to me right now?
Yes.
Hey, Marcus. We go way back, right?
Yes.
Did I relapse? Am I chasing the white dragon right now and none of this is real? Because it don't really make sense. The strange white people gave me $1,000 to come and ride in a car to a place with gorgeous women and monsters.
No, Marcus, I don't honestly
Can
think
we
this has
hear?
anything to do.
Oh yeah, you hear him because they open the door
okay.
and you all hear all
You're
that.
real.
I like point at my shirt that says "Don't judge me. I have a skin condition."
You were right. It's a porno.
Oh,
You
there.
are not
Okay.
on drugs. You are fine.
The moment you say it's a porno, the door to Dahlia's limo swings open again, and the man in the suit immediately closes it and just like stands in front of it, so they can't walk. And as all of you are looking at that, the jet, the door to the jet, you know, it's those ones that fold out into the staircase from the private jets, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Folds down, and you all see a tall, statuesque, almost impossibly beautiful woman with piercing blue eyes and blonde hair that falls down in rings to her shoulders. And she glides down the stairs in a white silk gown and takes all of you in with a warm smile, perhaps too warm. And she says, thank all of you oh so much for accepting my invitation. And look at you. And she looks at Sammy and she says, I'm sorry, sweetie. You're going to have to forget about all of this. And you see Sammy just sort of like snaps for a second, like he's kind of out of it. And you see the suited man looks at you, Marcus, and says, sir, I assure you, we will see your friend home safely and he will be appropriately compensated. But his memory of these events might be a bit hazy.
As long as he's safe.
Yes, of course. I don't mean to hurt him. I don't want to hurt any of you unless you make me. Sorry, somebody else was about to say something.
Nope, that was me just grunting in approval.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Kurt.
You're
I
good.
have one question, ma'am.
And you
This
see
ain't about Frankfurt, is it?
her eyes sort of widen, and she comes down, and she walks right towards you. Which, before we resolve this, Valencia, unfortunately for you, Kurt definitely qualifies as something that could activate your clan bane.
I just sort of
So-
turn around like,
I need you to make a willpower check for me.
Okay.
Again, willpower is all black dice.
no,
There's
it isn't.
definitely
Don't be a clanist.
There's definitely
I-
less attractive Nosferatu, but you know the blood
Hold on,
calls
I
for what the
gotta
blood
count it.
calls for.
5,
He's a 10
okay.
out of 10 in NOS standards.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Oh, I'm
I mean,
sure. Problem is, I don't control this part. The
listen,
clan
if you know if you're into that, yeah.
does. 2 10s. I mean,
Oh, so that's
Hell,
at least
3.
one crit. If you got 2 10s, that's a crit.
Yeah.
So that's at least 4 successes. And then how many past that?
All.
So wait, how many total?
What, a 5?
5 total?
Yeah, and it was 5 dice, so like, yeah.
With
No, wait,
with
okay. No, sorry.
well, because
Okay.
the two 10s count as 4 successes. That's a crit.
So that's the 4, and
7?
then
Yep.
it's 3 more on top of that, so...
7 successes. You don't even flinch, Valencia. Kurt, you've been doing this long enough. You know a toreador when you see one, and she looks right at you and nothing. You nothing but pleasant, Valencia, as you take them in.
That's a first.
I try.
We're all
You know,
Can't control that.
I'm so glad I didn't have time to grab my mask. I'm glad that y'all are so accepting.
In you see this beautiful woman comes walking right up to you, and she says, "Yes, it's about Frankfurt."
Look.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, all of you, somewhat unwillingly, my dear neonates, all of you, unfortunately, have wronged me in ways that you may not have intended. She looks at you, Dahlia, and she's like, "Those boys belonged to me."
And I do thank you for sharing.
No, not those boys. Those boys were hors d'oeuvres. I'm not even going to try and explain to you which boys it is I'm referring to, because I know the list gets long. But they were mine, and you ate them without my permission. You, Marcus, firebombed one of my office buildings just because we were enforcing some perhaps draconic tenement law. And you, Valencia,
Yes,
edging in on my fashion empire. And you, Miss Esther, those corpses were not supposed to fall into police custody. They weren't supposed to have such thorough autopsies, but you were a little too good at your job, and by the time my people got there to collect, they'd already been processed. And you, Adrian, she just looks you up and down. She goes,
I just put his hand down, like, put it down. Put it down.
"Adrian, you know what you did."
Yeah, I
She's
do.
like, gives you like a little slap, but it's kind of playful, but like a little slap, and like a little dust comes off. She goes, "Oh, you've got practical effects. Charming." And Warren, she looks at you for a second, and the closest thing you've seen to any sort of disdain has come upon her face. Even when she looked right at Kurt, she didn't flinch, but she looks at you and she goes, "Cousin, my fellow blue blood." And she just sort of like puts her hands under the lapel of your vest. She's like, "What is this? Is this polyester? Oh, I'm gonna have hives. Oh, what?"
Deep breath, deep breath. Well, I know we don't need to do that anymore, but like...
Yes, no, but I am now.
I mean, I'll wear it. If it offends you so much on him, I'll wear it.
This is goose feather down. This is high quality.
So what's the problem then?
That's the best Bemidji camouflage, ma'am. The best Bemidji camouflage.
We always have to be careful with the textures of things, because it could be one thing and feel like a different, so we always have to double check.
I mean, I found a spider in my
Also,
coat.
B-Div, quick question.
It is.
Yes.
You said she said I was imposing on her fashion empire. Would I know who she is?
No.
No?
None of you know who she is.
Okay.
Even though she's clearly someone important, she's clearly someone with money, but you
No,
all have
100%.
no
Okay, cool,
idea
cool.
who this is.
So
And-
my character is aware he wronged her.
Mhm.
He just doesn't know exactly which of the mini vampires he's wronged she is. Gotcha.
Yes.
You said, "Is it about Frankfurt?" She's like, "Yeah," but nothing else.
That doesn't narrow it down, actually. Oh, shit.
Yeah. And she
No worries.
looks at you, Warren, and she's like, "You have a..." I'll come back to you, Warren, but listen.
Oh.
Either way, I am a Ventru. And she looks at you, Warren, and she does sort of like stand up a little, like, "Ventru." And if word got out that wronging me was permissible, then that is literally bad for business. And she sort of looks kind of both sad and pouty for a second. But she says, "But I have a way for you to make it up to me. do this one little teensy thing for me, and we'll let bygones be bygones. I can even help you get properly settled, and you have to learn how things work in Los Angeles, because the next foot you step on might be standing on your throat. And she just sort of like plays with a curl for a second. She says, there's a little soiree going on in a warehouse not too far from here, a little kindred social club called the Circulatory System. They get together and they sample rare vitae from all over the world. You all probably realize they don't taste the same. Surely you must know that by now, but some of them, and she kind of literally starts like running her hands over her body in a near orgasmic bliss, which, by the way, it's not just me not stopping when you try and talk. She doesn't. Like, if you try to say something to her, she just continues like you don't exist. It's like, it's not the money, you see. It's clearly I've got plenty of money. And the problem is I don't like to share. And tonight they have a set of special twins on display named Hammer and Screw. Get into the warehouse, get the twins, bring them back here to me, and all will be forgiven. And you'll be my very favorites. Any questions?
I'm glad you picked me for this one. This is my kind of party.
Yes,
Big question.
Adrian. Yes.
Why?
Adrian,
Why them? No, wait,
Adrian,
we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. But why the twins? What are we getting into? What aren't you telling us?
Yeah, what's so special about these meat bags?
Yeah.
The blood's extra tasty, I'm assuming.
Are they
They're
vegan?
special, and I want them. That's all you need to know.
Sorry,
Surely
but I deal in information. I think I need a little bit of what makes them so special.
You see, she walks over and she like cozies right up to you, Kurt, and like she even like partially like kind of nuzzles the side of your face, which, quite frankly, you're not really accustomed to people being this affectionate with you. And she
Yeah, I
goes,
kind of like recoil.
She's like, I know you deal in information, Kurt, which is why I'm not telling you. Wait a minute. Do you all even know who I am?
The list
Not
of
even
vamps
in the
and-
slightest, sweetie.
You're the owner of that
I
plane.
have
I'm
a
guessing.
giant Rolodex of Othello designers, so I'm genuinely trying to go down the list.
Should we know?
The
When
list
she
of
looks-
vintages I've screwed over is quite large.
When she looks so horrified, you see one of the men steps forward. And she looks at him. Dahlia, he was one of the ones that came to pick you up. And she goes, Ace, they don't know who I am. And he says, ma'am, remember, we went to great lengths to erase all evidence of your existence. You were quite insistent on it. She goes, well, but I still wanted people to know who I am. Okay. My name is, you tell them who I am. It's Ghosh if I do it. And she just like turns her head slightly. And he says, this is Miss Skylar Bixby. Which, by chance, would any of you be old film buffs by any chance? It's just, if your character...
Me.
I think so. I've been alive for a good chunk of them.
Once
By
they...
the merit only that I am 106 years old, maybe.
Again,
Yeah,
I
I'm
leave it
going
up
to
to you whether you're a
20s,
movie
maybe.
guy. You know what I mean? But
sure.
once they say the name, there was a Silver Age movie star. It would have been black and white, so you've never actually seen her in color, but I mean, would have looked like this.
Oh, so Kurt would recognize her possibly now, because he loves old movies.
I'm so sorry. It's been a while since I've seen movies from that era.
Yes, and not many people are used to seeing me in color. But
Yeah.
it's, yeah, good. Well, good. Listen, I only need 2 things. Don't feed on the twins under any circumstances, or I'll be very upset.
Okay.
Do not leave any sort of a trail back to me. And if you mess up either of those things, I'll be very, very unhappy. You don't want to make me unhappy, do you?
No, if anything, I want to work with you at some point. I feel like you would really work well for the line. Anyway.
Well,
Sticking it to the Blue Bloods tends to feel pretty good.
you see, she puts a hand on your shoulder, Warren, like she's like been physically hit by him saying that, and then she realizes she's touching you and pulls it away again. Oh, hang on. I'm knocking things over. 1 second. Can you all still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We
No,
can.
I knocked over the focus right that the mic's plugged into. So great.
Oh, no.
Got
Uh,
real into it.
she looks kind of upset. I said gesticulating. She gets upset for a second and touches you, Warren, and then realizes she's touching you, Warren, and then like pulls it away again and is like, would you, cousin, can't I at least get you something proper to wear? Do you have to wear that to a soiree?
So I'm certainly open to any tips you have on fashion there, but
It's
You're
like
gonna stick out like a
fing-
sore thumb.
it's
You
like
need to put on a
fingers-
suit.
It's like fingers on a chalkboard.
I know,
Oh.
dear. I know. And I just sort of like
It's-
pat her
yeah.
shoulder. You look.
It's
If nothing else, it will help us blend in with the environment because, of course, they're gonna all be wearing fancy clothes, whether regardless of like what quality they are. They're gonna all be in suits or dresses and things.
Well, you know, there's all kinds of different people there, I know, but he's gonna go in there and be like, "Whoa, I'm from Clan Ventrue," and it's gonna, okay.
So it's just a
I have
venture
an emergency.
problem.
Okay,
Okay.
I do have some
Yeah.
emergency suits back home. If you
No.
give me 30 minutes.
No, we don't have 30 minutes. I feel a fainting spell coming upon me.
Oh,
And Ace,
go
and
lie down.
you see she does like very like, and he sort of does catch her, and she's like, "Take me back to the plane, Ace. They'll explain the rest to you. I must lie down." But yes, do a good job, and you're quite right, Valencia. Not only will be even, I can be quite useful to all of you.
I would love that. I love having business friends. Great.
She does look at you, Warren. And I mean, while she's like completely fainting here, she says, I know about the Knutsons and the Torvalds. Be careful. It could be kind of dangerous for them. You handle this however you see fit, but I don't want to see anything that's important to a cousin needlessly harmed.
You
Well,
wouldn't dare touch the garden.
they'll
Plants have done nothing to you. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll certainly be keeping a close eye on them when we go to Los Angeles there, but we're going to be putting together a whole itinerary, and they're going to be keeping their time dedicated to. Well, I'm pretty sure we could go and see a.
Stop it.
Something in your eye there.
Oh, it's the back of the throat. Yes, and Adrian, it's only because you didn't know that I was coming that I'm going to forgive you for not having brought me a flower. No, go. The party's already started. I'm going to have to go have a taste. In fact, she stops and she goes, actually, all of you, please. And you see the doors to all of your cars open up. They even reach in the back and pull out a couple of bags of blood from yours. Where'd the bags of blood? It was Kurt, right? Was it Kurt that had the bags of blood?
I thought it was Esther.
That
I thought it was Esther. Oh, it was
but I
Esther,
have
and then he
also
had the
back.
weird girl. Although the weird Calliope, wait, I gave my own name. Yeah, Calliope actually comes
Calliope.
out holding an armful of blood bags, and she's like, "All of you on the plane." Oh, and she looks at Pedro and Pascal, and she goes, "Excellent taste, Dahlia, by the way." So go enjoy the party. Maybe make some connections. Don't fail or get caught. Okay, love you. Bye. And she climbs back onto the plane, and the door immediately rolls up. And you see Ace standing there, and he's like, "Do you need anything? Changes of clothes? My lady might have slightly exaggerated, although it is definitely an upper class affair. There will be kindred of all stripes, so your clothes are not necessarily going to stick out too terribly much.
He needs a suit. He needs a suit.
And she looks at you, Warren, with nothing but respect, and he's like, "Sir, would you like a suit? You by no means have to have one."
So if suits are going to be the thing, then by all means, I'll wear me a suit. Whatever all of this is, I just want to play right on along. I'm having the time of my life right now. I'll tell you that much. You betcha.
You
Don't
see
you know?
what looks like an Amazon truck pulls in. It even has all the Amazon stuff on it. But when the door slides open, there is a hanger of all sorts of clothing and a rack with all sorts of weaponry, ranging from pistols and shotguns and rifles down to brass knuckles and swords and maces. He's like, "If there's anything
I
you
love
need,
the ring there.
Well, he just sort of looks at you and he says, well, we don't all have your particular gifts, Mix Kurt.
What do you mean by mine? Huh? You got someone gets Nosferatu's?
He sort of looks around and he's like, well, my lady always says to assume there's at least 3 of them around at all times. Is that
Solid
true?
advice.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go get
Yeah,
a,
there's
shot,
one right
a
behind you.
handgun now. I don't go get a handgun.
So if there's anything that you all need, they basically have it as long as it's within reason.
Yeah.
So you can feel free to arm yourselves appropriately, change
I
clothes.
want a gun.
Yeah,
I
Ooh,
get a
yeah.
gun. It's in a little. It's in my little bag.
Perfect.
I get one of those little 2-shot derringers that women used to stick in their garters. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm sure she knows how I dress, so I just make sure I'm in the tightest dress possible.
When you pick up that derringer, you see Ace looks at you and he goes, respectfully, sir, will you require a garter?
I was just gonna stick it into the appropriately sized pocket on my nano vest, but yeah, garters is great.
You see he pulls out 2 very lacy silk garters and he goes,
These are exquisite.
black or red, and we also have white, but white tends to get a little bloodstained. One for each leg.
Oh my god, get out of my brain.
I have so many questions for you, and I want to know so much.
I'm on a journey.
Love to see it.
Let me ask you this: does anyone change clothes?
I do. I'm like going through a dress rack right now.
I was about to say, what does Kurt look like after changing clothes?
Oh, Kurt's definitely gonna wear a dress and probably a mask, like made out of like some leather straps or something.
Like full BDSM or just more like luchador?
More kind of like luchador, but it's like just like a straps and an X pattern
Got
to
it.
cover his.
That sounds
broken.
more BDSM, but okay, yes, perfect, yeah.
I mean, we can go
It
that
can
way.
be both. It can be a little bit of
Why
both.
not? It could be, but wrestling is wrestling, right? I mean, we're all grappling either way. It's a different kind of submission wrestling, though. Perfect.
Still gotta tap out.
What color is your dress? Is it like is it a pretty dress? Is it a flowy dress?
It is gonna be like if you played Alice the Madman Returns, kind of like her dress when she's in the real world, which is kind of like gray with black and white.
Well, now oh, okay. All right. I just had to look it up. Got it. Perfect. Excellent. Does anybody else change clothes?
I would take the opportunity because why wouldn't I?
Absolutely.
What does Valencia look like after changing clothes?
It's definitely black because I'm trying to keep in mind the practicality of what we might run into. But it is got like 3 little openings on the side with like bedazzled straps. It's got it hugs the boobs real nice, and it the boots are high heeled and honestly laced to the nines.
Excellent. And what does Dahlia change into?
Well, she was wearing jeans, so I select a dress that very simple black dress, right above the knees, but the what the hell is it called when a dress has like the deep cut? Plunge.
The
A deep
plunge,
plunge
the DP,
all the way down to my belly button.
I only know it as the boob window because of Power Girl.
The boob
Bet.
window.
The boob window is a slightly different mechanic than the deep plunge, but yes, more Madeline Pryor, more Goblin Queen. You know, how deep a plunge though? Are we talking just a plunge? Or are we talking like naval?
Y'all can see my belly button.
Perfect, a deep plunge. Does anybody else change clothes?
Yeah, if everyone is putting on fancy duds, yeah, Warren will take off the soccer dad kind of thing. He'll just put on a very simple gray suit, black tie, white shirt, just classic. You know, he'll dump the hat. He will even dump the glasses and just look like a clean pressed guy.
Just the garters.
The blue. I thought for a second you meant you're wearing just the garters. I'm like, we can go. We can do this. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It is the world.
Turning into a very particular kind of party.
it is very beastly.
It is that kind of party. I mean, the night's not over. There's still time to end up at just the garters.
I got nothing to
but
hide.
you all see as Warren changes, it's a Ventru is a Ventru. You know what I mean? It is like a Sailor Moon power up that he's like a different person instantly when he just puts a suit on.
I remain in my jeans, t-shirt, and dark gray hoodie.
Perfect. Wonderful. And does Esther change or does Esther stay the same?
Esther's definitely changing. Their scrubs look gross. It's disgusting. So they're gonna probably put on like a 3-piece suit, black on black on black, all the way through. And probably like a nice little scarf to cover their face a little bit.
Perfect.
Could I make one revision to my outfit?
Absolutely.
If it is in the realm of possibility, Kurt is a complete drama queen and would absolutely grab like a Phantom of the Opera style mask.
100%.
Yes.
100%. There's a phantom mask. 100%.
Awesome. It's gonna be like what I guess one with like the teardrop from the Charles Dance version.
100%.
Plus, it looks like the Nosferatu symbol, so it works.
Perfect.
Gotta wrap.
They load you all into a limo and drive out into the night, and you all have a moment to just talk amongst yourselves. You don't necessarily know these people. Some of you are famous, especially Dahlia. Again, I leave it up to you to what extent you are. Again, she's famous enough you at least know her face. I leave it up to you if you know anything about her. The rest of you are famous in your scenes. But realistically, especially if you've been around town for a while and you want to say that you know or have heard of each other, that is fine too.
Adrian,
Esther is just gonna stare out the window.
I hear you are a gardener.
Yeah. Sorry, I start most conversations that way. It's got to be like the first utterance or something. Yeah, I manage a garden in the city. It's quite nice. Do you
I had
feed on
like
anyone that dabbles?
no, I just had a dream right before we met about, I guess, gardeners or flowers. It turned into a bit of an orgy and stuff, not unlike what is probably going to happen, but I just thought that was quite the coincidence that I had that kind of vision and met you.
That is
Well-
quite the vision.
But the last Moldavian that had visions did end up trying to steal my laptop. Please don't try and
Actually-
steal my laptop.
I'm not gonna lie, the same thing was kind of true on my end, but that, interestingly enough, was at an orgy not too far from a different garden. But that's a crazier story than we might have time for. Yeah, the crowds I roll with, that's not always off the table.
I've never been invited to a party this
I
big.
Oh my God, where are our manners? Would you like to come to the next night garden orgy?
I think you guys would be impressed.
I think I could. There was a suit back there that would hide a lot of you. Not that you wouldn't be, fully within your right to be on display, but masquerade.
It's a matter of getting there.
Fair.
So what it sounds like there's more than one event like this.
Listen, you've been alive as long as some of us are, because in my unlife I am about 45. Did somebody say 100 earlier? Oh,
That would
God.
be me.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
106.
Oh, finally someone older than me, and I haven't run into one of you in a while.
Did you do anything? I do want to ask about that dream. I'm not gonna lie, but we have a couple of minutes. Before I do that, anyone do anything fun for their centennial?
1 second. Before we talk about this dream, because I think it is important that Dahlia recap what she remembers of the dream. All of you give me wits in streetwise. Because do any of you have the circulatory system lore sheet by chance?
No,
All right,
indeed.
then wits and streetwise.
Then I gotta find the character sheet
I think-
again, which tab.
I think someone was kind enough to share it in the Discord, but my computer
did.
is mad.
So I'll be rolling all my dice once or twice.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, do I roll how many dice and how many times?
You failed that rouse. I mean, you succeeded in your rouse check, rather. So, how many total dice is your wits and your streetwise?
Let me pull up my character sheet on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And how many dice is the amount of dots I have, correct?
Correct.
So I have
Those
none
two
of
things
super
combined.
one
How much in wits?
in wits. I got 3.
So you're going to roll 3 total dice. One of those will be red.
I roll 2 dice.
Yep.
Am I
Again,
also
replace.
rolling?
Oh yeah, everybody.
Oh, everybody. Okay, I wasn't sure.
All the above. I got
Yep.
3 successes, by the way.
3 successes.
I got
correct.
2 9s and a 10.
That is 3
Success
successes.
on the blood dice.
Okay, just 1 success. So 3 successes, 3 successes. Esther, did
got-
I see 0?
So I had 1 success, but may I burn a willpower to reroll?
So let me explain how that works. Realistically, I'm going to tell you above the table, this roll isn't important enough to burn a willpower for. But remember, since we've already had a couple willpower checks, and I said you roll your unspent willpower. Anytime I ask you to roll for something, you can spend a willpower. So you just strike it through on the page. You don't erase it because other stuff can happen to your willpower. But you strike it out, and you can re-roll up to 3 of your black dice. And you can't roll any of your re-roll any of your blood dice, but you can roll up to 3 of your black dice. So if it's really important that you succeed at something, or if you're crit fishing, that is something you can do. Okay? But you can, but it's not that.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, I think my dice want you to kill me because I had a bestial failure on my blood die, and failures all across the board.
Oh
So
no.
only a bestial failure. Okay.
I would have loved to have heard about the dream, but if I implode, that is going to be messy. I'm sorry.
Slowly
No.
reaching
You
for-
know, you know what I'm going to do in the
Something
interest
fun?
of time?
Yeah.
I'm going to save that freak out for a dramatically appropriate moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
I-
if you lose it locked in the limo with the coterie, then there's a short list of ways that's gonna go. So I'll have that particular grenade go off in
Now-
a far more costly environment.
Now, Mr. Walters, I'm going to send you in Zoom a private message that might
Mhm.
give you some fun ammunition for that, but please continue.
First of all, my body's
Sorry
ready. So
to interrupt. Can I ask a question real quick?
absolutely.
Since I am also Malkavian, did I also get that vision as well, or no?
You did not. However,
Okay.
you as a fellow Moonchild know that the visions are never just visions. Even when you think they're just visions, they're not visions.
B. Dave, am I able to use my own vampire powers on myself?
You legit went to change. That's incredible.
I know.
I don't. Okay, we are talking after this.
See, I didn't want to say anything, but that because I thought I was tripping. But that's awesome. I love.
No,
it.
I've done that.
My,
I see you.
my one regret is I usually get a screenshot of everybody at the end just out of practice. But if I'd known there was going to be a quick change, I would have got it at the top. I apologize. That is incredible.
It'd be impossible to put it back on now, so
Yeah.
missed chance.
Which ability is it that you're talking about?
I want to be able to erase my own memory and rationalize things. Basically, I want to magically gaslight myself.
Unfortunately, you cannot.
Cannot do that. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you cannot. Incredible.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I'm while all of you were talking about, all of these vampire-y things and orgies and whatnot, Warren is there just sort of laughing through it all, sort of acting like, yeah, this is all just a big kind of, oh yeah, gotcha, big joke. Just really not engaging, sharing anything about vampiric at all. Just clearly in denial.
Perfect.
I like the vest better. It suits you, Mr. What was your name again? Warren?
Oh yes, Warren Grimble. And I didn't catch your name.
Apologies for my tone, Mr. Grimble. I just want to make sure. She was freaking out, and I would prefer not to have that on the list of things that stir her ire, if that makes sense.
Oh no, sure. I'm all there with you. I'm just along for the ride here.
Miss Dahlia, can you elaborate on that dream for us? I
Yes,
can't
that'd be
stop
wonderful.
thinking about it.
Yeah, if I can remember correctly, there was a a gathering of flowers of all sorts of, there was a blue flower, there were glowing roots and all this, and they were being gathered up in a bouquet, uh and then people started licking and sucking and fucking and all that. I don't it, they take time to develop. But I am going to turn it into a novel, so I would love to chat with you further about plants and such, because I'm sure I could get some good research with you.
You think
Nah,
the flower
absolutely.
really does.
I also would.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, so sorry.
Dahlia, roll your wits plus your resolve. So it's gonna be 7
My
total
wits
dice.
Resolve. Is that different than the one that's different than what I just rolled?
It is.
Okay. Mhm.
I'm going to give Dahlia a chance to remember things that Beth may have forgotten. 'Cause
Beth
Dahlia got the
forgets
vision.
everything.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
okay. So
You
Oh
rolled
no.
7? That didn't seem like many dice.
Yeah, no, I rolled
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. No, go on. What is it?
7. 3 of them were successes, 3 were failures, and then the red die had another beastie face on it.
Okay, so that is 3 successes. With 3 successes, there were so many things out of it that I gave you. Let's see.
Tell you what I remember of it, like as a player.
No, I remember. I remember. I said it. I just said, what am I gonna have her remember?
Okay. Sorry.
I
will
was
say-
real focused on the way the flowers looked and particularly what the people
I'm-
began doing with each other.
What I'm going to give you is that what you've come to realize is that bouquet of flowers that was gathered up far and wide and then thrown into this chaotic situation is you all. You're the flowers. Each of those flowers was one of them, including the scum growing on the bottom of the pipe, which was Kurt.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be useful and growing in some way that shows further development. And every day we try to get better.
I want to let you know, buddy, that scum is life. You matter. Dude, I don't know if you're. I don't know if you hug.
Listen,
You need a hug.
I haven't felt the touch of another living,
Sí.
unliving
Déjame
thing in
hablar con
over 100 years. It's
Okay, you let me know. I'm here for you.
listen,
I appreciate that.
fungus and mycenids are death incarnate. They're the most metal living things on Earth. Like they're death personified. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, but I'm undead, so that is life. When I say that's life. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dahlia, you're sure at least the first half of the vision was the gathering of you all. And, I am gonna send you something else in the DM real quick here, Beth.
Oh. Is it going to be on Zoom and Discord or Instagram?
You know what? First of
What
all,
was the above?
that's what I'm like. I'm gonna send it on Instagram so I don't also accidentally send something to group chat because I have before. Even when I'm like, I'm certain I'm not sending this to everybody. I proceed to send it to everyone.
We've all been there.
Indeed.
It happens.
I mean, I actually
Perfect.
sent wrestling gifts into my work group chat, so it's all good.
Indeed.
Hey,
All right.
Marcus, if you were a human named Drew, what would you be drinking right now, just out of curiosity?
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, was he like a specific doctor, like an oncologist, or?
Is it one of those? What's that called? No, we have soda. Like the newer ones.
I don't know if we're in character or not.
I don't know.
Marcus, I think Marcus was
not-
trying to say something. Yeah.
I'm not a vampire. I need actual like food and drink.
Yeah, because vampires are
Pepper
not
with it.
real. They don't
We're
exist.
not.
What
You
you
Dave, you
keep
have the
saying?
coolest eyes. Your eyes are very unique, and when you say stuff like that with your eyes wide open, it's like I don't know if he's being real or not.
Yeah, when you look right down the barrel
No,
like that.
I'm being very serious. There's no such thing as vampires.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't tell you were in character or not
thing as
either.
vampires.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Yeah, right.
Oh no!
That's a fun
I'm being
effect.
dramatic. I'm being dramatic. Okay. Excellent. Is there anything else you all want to discuss, or any more questions about the vision before we arrive at our destination?
Well, so quick question. The names of the people of the two we're going to go get were
Hammer and Screw.
Oh,
Miss Dahlia, did you by
Yes.
chance see anything involving the hammer and the screw? Because if it's about us coming together,
Oh my God, there was a hammer and screw in the vision.
oh,
I thought that was weird. I made a note of it.
I'm a little surprised those are names, but I've heard the names I hear these days. Whew.
And from this vision, do you gather that we perhaps might run into trouble
Oh,
here?
absolutely.
Assume that always.
I assume 1,000%. We're probably going to die.
Oh, lovely.
but
I'm actually not so sure. And you can see her like sitting back, and she's like, "No, wait, mm-mm."
Oh, you.
What I will say, and your Moonchild sibling also knows, the visions are literally like dreams. Sometimes it's literally true. Like you can have a vision of someone getting hit by a train, and sometimes it's a metaphor where something negative is coming, and then sometimes somebody gets hit by a train. It's just the blood of Malkov does what it does.
You said that you believe that we're all going to die.
Well, there was a lot of blood, but I guess if we're the one doing the sucking and stabbing, then, you know, we're
Well,
just going blazing.
I'm not sure about the second part there, but if you're worried about dismemberment and death, I might suggest that we all consider term insurance. Term insurance is something you can get that covers a very limited window, the lowest premiums for the most amount of coverage.
You know, above the table, I sold insurance for years, and so the moment you said that, I'm like, then in the table, as
give him a flashback.
yeah, right. Not quite PTSD. It was not an unhappy time, but I'm like,
Thank God.
I'm like, he's speaking the old language, the language of the gods. But
Brief
as
look of recognition.
Do not speak the deep magic to me, witch.
as I was in fact there when it was written, that is true. As you all arrive or drive through the night, being regaled by the advantages of a term life insurance, although realistically for mortals, a whole life would be much better investment. The party is in a nearby row of massive warehouses just outside the Van Nuys airport. You feel the thumping of the bass through the ground long before you hear the music as you approach. Dramatically. The street is lined with millions of dollars. First of all, is that how's the volume on that? You said if a song is louder, I'm like, I don't know how loud the song is.
It's
how about that?
little
Is
loud.
Little loud. Little loud.
that better?
It's-
I moved it down some. Is that better?
Too far.
It's all gone.
Now it's gone.
All gone?
Effects in fiction, however.
And unfortunately, this little freaking slider is
Right.
like hair touch. Let's see.
Quantum leaps.
Also, no, we're still going, but like, I'm having so much fun. You guys, this is so great.
Oh yeah.
What if you simply
Always a
described
good
the
day when I get
music?
people match wearing the helmet.
Right.
I'm
Simultaneously describe the scene and the music.
well, I mean, I normally do. It's just technology allows me to do. Like, can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go there
I
for
love
real.
Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Perfect.
I
perfect,
love-
perfect. Hey,
I've never played Cyberpunk, but I've played the game.
that is actually not cyberpunk music. It is 1 hour dark clubbing vampire
Yeah.
party.
Yep. I probably yeah.
So,
Beth in real
It's
life
a-
is way overdue for a night out.
well, there's still time. However, the street is lined with millions of dollars worth of supercars, and machine gun toting guards idly stroll around the area as tuxedoed men and couture clad women come in and out of the building. Colorful strobe lights dance through the open bay doors, and high windows but thick shadows line the outside of the building. The location is equal parts dark and secluded, but lavishly spectacular. And as you all are pulling up, the window up front between you and the driver comes down, and you realize it's the second man that came to pick you up, Dahlia. To the rest of you, they're all sort of like Henry Cavill dupe number 1, Henry Cavill dupe number 2. But you caught somewhere along the way that his name was Jack. And he turns and looks at you all and he says, by the way, everyone, the password for tonight is marmalade. I will get us past the guards here at the gate. And then I will get the door, of course. And you all will be allowed to enjoy the evening as you see fit. Is there anyone that wants to be let out before we get inside? And he very much looks at you, Kurt, and he's like, sometimes people like to enter in a different way. I make no assumptions or judgments for that matter.
I'm going into the front.
Respect.
Excellent. He's like, please stand by. And you see the window goes up again.
Important question. I meant to
Yes.
ask you before. Where are we dropping them off?
At this party. Wait, where are you dropping off Hammer and Screw?
When we pick,
Correct.
yeah,
She said bring them back where you just were. Bring them back to the
the
hangar.
hangar.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, bring them back to the hangar. Don't feed on them. Bring them back to the hangar. Don't get caught. That was
Don't get
basically the instructions.
Adrian is getting a better
Awkward
vibe
memory.
of what this party's all about and remembers that under the beanie on his head are very much like wolf ears. And he goes, even though vampires don't have to sigh, and he
What's
begins
wrong?
stripping so that he is just wearing his boxers and garters because he thinks the ears lent to the aesthetic.
Well, those 3 successes that a few of you rolled before is enough to just know a bit, but not a lot. The circulatory system, Skylar did mention this in passing. The circulatory system is a kindred club, a very exclusive club, and they have pop-up parties in major cities and major areas, and the entire point is they have people there with very specialized blood. Different blood has different effects, different features, and can affect kindred in different ways. Some of it just tastes different. Some of it actually does things to you. And so it is not at all uncommon or odd for them to have popped up here basically in the warehouse district near the airport, have this wild party, and by nightfall tomorrow, it'll be like it never happened. And you hear the window come down at the limo. You hear casual chatter with the driver and the gunner. And you do see he sort of leans down and looks, but you all know from when you got in the car from the outside, it is jet black. But the man still just sort of like turns his head from left to right and then just sort of nods, and the limousine pulls inside. And as you approach the front of this warehouse, which has a red carpet laid out in front of it now, Jack does come around to the side that Dahlia is sitting closest to, and he pauses for a moment, and he goes around to the other side where Valencia is and opens the door. And he's like, ma'am?
Thank you.
I assume everyone comes out of the car, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just kind of stare at the doorman like
I'm
this.
threatened.
You notice as you all get out of the car, it's like the doorman and everybody, like, they don't blink because you all range wildly from being dressed up to to being a supersized twink to being the Phantom of the Opera, but nobody really bats an eye. You see a couple of people sort of like lean over and kind of like whisper in each other's ears, and you get a familiar response that you're used to, Dahlia, where people kind of look at her like, is she that woman from that thing? But you realize very quickly, Dahlia, it's not you they're trying to figure out. Like, they're just sort of sizing up all of you. It's just you all kind of head towards the front of the club. Now, all of you give me either wits and awareness or wits and investigation.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Either wits and awareness or wits and investigation, whichever's higher.
And B Dave, should I have no hunger dice at this time because I succeeded on that rouse check, or do I?
You have the one. You always have the one.
I always have the one. Got it.
Only if you take a mortal life can you get down to 0.
Yep.
Is this in regards to micro expressions, which
It's not. You would have a specialty in that, but this is stuff that you've clocked about the building on approach. what you might or might not have noticed.
Ooh.
All right, just because I'm slow, so
Mhm.
roll whichever's highest between awareness and investigation. You said and wits.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that'd be 6 die for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 fails and 2 successes.
Okay, so that's going to be 2 total successes for Marcus. Okay.
That's going to be
older versions of the game. If you rolled ones, they were called botches, and they canceled out successes. And successes used to explode, or 10s used to explode. So you occasionally will hear people allude to being like, "Oh, I got 2 passes and 2 fails, so I got 0." Because people have been playing this game a long time. That's not how it works anymore.
Hooray!
Yeah.
2 successes.
3 successes.
2, 3,
2 successes from Warren.
2. Adrian.
I burnt a willpower to
Uh-huh.
crit fish, and I'm successful, so I have 6.
A normal crit.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna come to you last, Esther. What did Dahlia get?
I have 4 successes that have the stars on them.
4 successes that have the stars. That's 8 total successes. So this is like radar, Dahlia. As you pull up, were any of those on your blood dice?
No, the blood die was blank.
Perfect. No, you're like freaking Daredevil. So the rest of you are kind of looking, and you're like, expensive cars, fancy party, different kind of people, guys with machine guns. You're sort of like taking it all in as you come up. But Esther and Dahlia recognize quite a bit. Dahlia, you see inside this place. You have a very, again, you've done your time on the social circuit. And there is a mixture of primarily 2 types of people. People who actually are important, and people who desperately want to appear important. You see kindreds and mortals alike. Many of the mortals seem to be walking around like guests at the party, wearing tuxedos, wearing ball gowns. Some of the staff looks to be mortal, but you notice many of the staff are walking around carrying trays, and each of the tray has goblets on them, but you see coming from the goblets is an IV down into their wrist. So what they're serving is essentially their own blood as they come and stop and people take it up. And you notice a spectrum of responses from people. Some of them shoo them like the help. Some people very much are please and thank you. A lot of people are trying to flirt with them. You notice a handful of people. You notice an exquisitely dressed woman who is every bit as beautiful as Skylar. She is wearing a gown that looks like it is made out of green feathers, like it's made out of ostrich or peacock feathers. With 8 successes, 2 of which being crits, I will tell you, you immediately know that she's in charge and that also she's a Toreador. Ostensibly, there's nothing really about her that would make you think that like, oh, it's her. But you clock that. There are a pair of very young Ventru in here. There is what looks like a very sleazy film producer type chatting up a young server who is desperately trying to get away from this man. You see a guy who is wearing a purple crushed velvet suit who is dancing, but clearly to music that only he can hear. You also see another man standing kind of at the side of the building, wearing glasses, sunglasses, very quietly taking everything in. Again, with 2 crits, which is about as successful as you could possibly be. You know that guy's also important. If the woman in the green feathers is the main event, that guy's important. You see another man that you realize was a 60s film star. You're like, I know, he's that guy from that thing. There is a leather-clad, surly-looking biker. There is a man who looks like a steampunk inventor. There is a guy wearing dark black robes, and he's got almost jet black skin. That every time the servers come near him, he just sort of like nods but declines. You don't see him take it from anybody. And the last person you see is a woman wearing an exquisite silk gown. that looks vintage. It would cost a fortune. But she's covered in fluffy white fur, and her face looks like a fluffy white moth. Her eyes and teeth are jet black, and her nose is like a moth's proboscis. And she is carrying a fluffy white rat the size of a chihuahua. But a very fit man comes by with a goblet, and she motions him over, and she takes it and she sips it, and she looks at him approvingly. And you see she puts the goblet back on the tray and just drops a handful of hundreds on the tray and just sort of like pats his face, and he walks away. With all those crits, you don't have to remember all that. I can remind you of anybody that
I basically turn around, I huddle, and I tell everybody.
Well, hang on, because Esther has realized almost as much, but in a different way.
Oh.
Esther, I'm knocking over dice. You realize there are 6 guards outside with another 4 guards on the inside, most of which are plainclothes. The like visible heavies are all outside, but Esther, you clock there's definitely heavies inside too. They're just not trying to stand out. You do know the guards are vigilant, but they're not aggressive. Even the ones outside, when they find people, are treating them more like they snuck out to have sex or get high, and not like, whoa, that's not really their initial reaction. Their initial reaction is, I think you're supposed to be over there, type thing, even though they are heavily armed. You realize that this building can be accessed via the sewers or the roof. There are fire exits on every side of the building. And there is a large loading dock out the back that leads to an alleyway that runs between the buildings. If you've actually been to Van Nuys, it's like that, but it's not so different than an industrial area anywhere. You know how there's like the alley behind that like basically delivery trucks can kind of get in and out of out back. So loading dock out the back leads to an alley behind the buildings. That is what all of you have clocked on the approach. You haven't even gone in yet. But yes, Dahlia and Aunt Esther, those are things you all are aware of.
Yeah. First things first. Find hammer and screw. Distract the lady and Minnie in charge. Because I have a feeling.
Let me add something to that. Sorry, Valencia. Especially with what you clocked. Taking this room in, Dahlia, you don't see anybody that are the sources of the blood. The people on the trays are kind of, again, they have the IVs. You see some kindred who are clearly high. Especially there is a woman who is like running around trying to catch like butterflies with her hands. And the man that you saw standing on the far wall, next to him, there is a kind of very small door. And people kind of come up and approach him, and he just kind of like nods and opens the door. And when they go in, a few minutes later, someone else comes out that is clearly like, and just like grab each other and like start passionately kissing, like right in front of the door. They look like they're about to make love. And you see that man with the glasses just sort of like motions for a well-dressed person that kind of comes up and kind of escorts them to a room where they can sort of draw some curtains. All of that is to say, nothing screams, they're feeding on those people. Yeah.
I think that door is our goal. And aside from that, I share everything with everyone because there's no way I process that alone.
Also same. I also share the same information as well.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Assuming since Dahlia and Esther both just noticed that and said it out loud, you can feel free to ask any questions. Again, you all haven't gone in yet. It is just sort of like, as you just like, you're like, got it.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Quick, I do think like in a louder voice sort of frame is like, okay, so when we get to this party, and then I kind of lower my voice and go like, okay. So
there's something going on behind the door.
Understood. We need to get there, but we also need to make sure that those in charge don't notice.
That door.
Even more important, we got to plan our way out. because we're not using
Exactly.
this front door.
If you can find me a
If
way
we should
there,
find whatever.
I could try
We should...
through.
You do see Jack approaches. He's like, apologies. And Adrian, he sends you just a small black device with a single button on it. He says, homing beacon, sir. If you press that, I will bring the limo forthwith. If you press it somewhere the limo will not fit, I will do my best to reach you.
Understood. And I consider that I've dropped all of my clothing except underwear and garters, and I say, yeah, I'll hold on to this.
So, do I understand that we could be in need of a bit of a distraction there?
What do you got, insurance man?
Well, if all of you need to go off and find this hammer and screw, but you need to take the attention away from that door there, I've got some words I might want to say to these fine folks here, and I think it could create just the window of opportunity that you need to do what you got to do.
You could just buy us just enough time. I think I could possibly try to get us to that door.
Oh, sure, I'll buy all the time you need there.
You
It
have
also
real
helps-
keynote speaker vibes. I think that's going to work great. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to channel your inner youth minister.
B. Dave,
Alright.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
The 4 guards that were inside, are they
Yes.
just roaming around, generally speaking, or are they kind of hovering out a specific area?
2 are patrolling and 2 are on opposite sides of the walls.
Okay.
Just kind of staying put.
Okay.
But again, if you didn't know, they don't look like heavies. They look like they're at the club. They even have drinks in their hands. But you've clocked them as security.
So I'm not.
I would
the shack.
propose.
Well, hang on one second. Kurt, sorry, you were saying something?
I don't leave my little haunt often. But if I've learned anything through playing the electronic medium, is this thing called Hitman. All we need is just to cause like a big enough distraction, and then when maybe we knock somebody out, we could put them take their clothes. I think that's how this works, right?
Marcus,
For the
is
love
that
of
what you were
God.
going to say?
Or
Please
you
no.
need a cardboard box to hide under. Yes, Marcus, you were saying something also?
I'm going to propose we actually get inside before we formulate a plan.
That is a fair point.
So just to get the lay of the party, because
Yeah, so
would
I think
presume
as long
there's-
as we get them back by the end of the night.
plenty of eyes on.
All right.
Warren, do you trust that we'll be able to convey the plan to you appropriately if we use your speech as a distraction that allows us to meet together again, also to discuss what we discover and have that plan formulated? I fear if we go inside, then discuss the plan, that many keen ears, not unlike my own, and I point up at my stupid dog ears, we'll be able to pick up on any discussions we have inside. But it is wise for us to go in.
That guy's got dog ears.
They're not wolf ears. I hadn't seen a wolf before I turned. They're dog ears.
Well, you got some excellent doggy ears there.
Is it rude to ask if I may?
Oh, by all means.
No, I was talking to Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
I feel weirdly gratified at the praise you give me, as if, dog. And then I say, yeah, what's up?
Whoa, he is a good boy.
Oh my God.
I
needed
just pat your head once I get the yes, it's okay.
What was that again? I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's very loud and I like Marcus's plan, but what did you say, Valencia?
No, I was asking if I could touch your.
Oh,
Is that okay?
yeah. Oh my God.
I scratched
I
his
don't
head.
I don't have working nerves anymore, but this is gratifying.
Adrian, give me a willpower save.
Okay.
Or not save, willpower roll, not save.
Yep.
Different game.
We're back in D&D. Yep.
Bellies.
I do too much of both. I will perpetually mix it up. I will call wits and awareness perception before this night's over. Doesn't help that there used to actually be a perception stat in Vampire.
If anybody wants to be as excited about this as I am, I'm rolling really well when it doesn't matter tonight. That's 4 successes.
You feel the legs about to start kicking, but you hold it together, Adrian. You hold it together.
I'm
Well,
so
she's
sorry.
giving
That was
scratches.
6 successes because one of them was a double critical. Yeah, but that means I'm really holding it together, right?
Yeah, like,
Nope.
Yeah.
mm.
Sorry, let me
Mm.
know if that's ever uncomfortable, but that was just cool.
Nope. That's this is a very friendly gesture. Thank you. Oh God.
But 6, even wearing nothing but your briefs and garters, Adrian, you.
It's my choice if I show that kind of excitement. Now, so I think at present we're talking about finding cardboard boxes for everyone. Is that right? I think I interrupted the storyteller.
As you start to make your way inside, where you're still together, the circulatory system event is a fusion of a Roman orgy and a techno rave. There's couches and settees sprinkled throughout the cavernous space with lovemaking and kindred feeding openly. A neon-clad DJ spins on an elevated platform as a small crowd dances in front of the stage. Well-dressed people walk around, chatting intimately with each other as humans walk around with trays and silver goblets attached to IVs connected directly to their veins. A woman in a blood-soaked little black dress stumbles past you, pupils dilated and chasing butterflies that only she can see. The sounds of passion mix with the throbbing pulse of the music. This is the height or depth of hedonism. Now, what would you all like to do? Again, just to recap, there is a woman who is clearly in charge. There is 2 young people that are clearly very brand new kindred. There is the white fur-covered woman who looks like a moth. She's also about 6'3", and actually in her heels, she's about 6'7". There is a man in a purple crushed velvet suit dancing to music that clearly only he can hear. There is the man in glasses along the wall near the door where you see some people are being admitted to. There is an older 60s film star guy. There is a bear-looking leather-clad biker who looks surly and disagreeable. There is a man who looks like a steampunk inventor, and a man in long black robes that are as dark as his skin.
Okay.
Well, Adrian, to your point about getting separated and keeping communication going back and forth and all that, I take your point. Perhaps we just get ourselves an escort to take us right on in where we want to go. I see that that lady over there seems to be in charge. I could have some words with her, and I'm sure she'd just let us right on into where we want to go.
I think you should go alone if you're going to do that.
That's not a terrible idea. You might be able to get better terms if she doesn't feel threatened.
Not to mention, if it goes wrong, somebody's got to bail us out.
Sounds good to me. And
before we go, I will join you. She is a fellow rose, and I would like to turn on awe. I know it's mostly kindred, but
no, it's fine. As you activate awe, all of you, even you all, feel compelled. You could resist it, but you feel compelled to just notice Valencia. And you see every mortal in the place stops and looks. And as everyone sort of like looks at her for a moment, you even hear the DJ kind of misses a beat and then sort of like collects themselves and sit back together. And you see the woman in the green dress looks at you and she says, "Aren't you a pretty thing?"
thank you.
And you see she just holds a finger up to her lips. And when she does, the music stops. And she says, "Now that we can speak without yelling, what's your name, darling?"
My name's Valencia. Lovely to meet you. Would love to know your name, as I understand you're the hostess. Or in charge.
You're a rose, right? I can tell by your stature that you're not as young as some, correct?
Correct.
Then surely you must know that it is quite rude to try and upstage the hostess. And when she says upstage the hostess, this energy rolls off of her.
Yep.
And it hits all of you like just a freight train. She is simultaneously the most captivating thing that you've ever seen in your lives, but effortlessly. It's just if there was the embodiment of demure, it is her. You see, the mortals start literally falling to their knees, weeping. And even the kindred just sort of like look at her wild-eyed for a second and then start to bow their heads a bit. She goes, oh, sorry. And it just stops.
I just sort of give a slight sort of bow, like, my apologies. It seemed the fastest way to to confirm and also see just how much you could bring, and clearly it's a lot. So
It's fine. We've all been young before. Come closer.
I come closer.
Do you go with her, Warren?
I certainly do.
They
I
sort of hold a
failed.
hand out, like sort of casually, like, come on.
I tried to resist the awe from Valencia. Not a chance.
I just sort of hold a hand out, like, come on, we gotta look like we're together.
You see, she clearly looks at all of you and just smiles, and then she looks back at the two of you. Now, while the two of them are going up to talk to this woman, what are the rest of you doing?
I would like to actually go intervene with that sleazy guy and the server.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because
got
I
you
want to get
back.
away. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
As
coming
far
with
as
you. That seems
Are you
far
going
away
there
from
too?
that majesty as possible.
He's
When
got a gangrel and a Nosferatu coming with him.
perfect, as you all move over, you can see this poor woman's just making drinks, right? And he is very much leaned against the wall with a goblet of blood in his hand. And he says, I've been discovering talent as long as there has been a film business, darling. I will make you a star. You'll be the next Glenn Close, the next Haley Stanfield. Wouldn't that be lovely? And she goes, that would be wonderful if I were to earn that. Were you saying you were having a cocktail? And he goes, no, although you may have something I would like to taste. And you all approach and look right when you hear him say that.
I elbow Esther like, you got this, we got you.
I'm just gonna like catch this sleazy dude's attention. I'll just be like, hey, well, why settle for someone like her when you can have someone like me? And I'm just gonna like get that opening for her to just get out, just leave.
He's
I
like,
think we create a wall, Kurt included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, oh, apologies. I'm not casting unique looks currently. And this not literally not being her first rodeo, immediately when there's a moment, just sort of like moves away. And you see he watches her go, he's like, damn it. You know, I realize it's my fault for working while I'm supposed to be playing. Rainey Hodgson. And he holds his hand out to shake your hand, Esther.
I will shake his hand.
Yes, Kurt.
If possible, I'm gonna like try and get as close as possible before he notices. Like my mask is like, like I'm close.
Mm-hmm.
And before he does, I just pull off my mask and I'm like, I'm pretty. Don't you think I'm pretty? Come on. Just try and make him feel as uncomfortable as he made that server. Like fangs are in his face.
You see, as you get close, he gives you very much a like, That is quite a heady bouquet from your cologne. You are
Kurt Fritz.
Rainey Hodgson.
Oh, I know who you are.
Oh, you do. Are you in the business?
I'm in a business.
He knows your business.
And you do see he literally pulls out one of those hankies from his sleeve, like in the Victorian times when they had the perfume on it. And he goes, charmed. And he looks at you, Adrian. He goes, now this I can sell. Would you give me a little spin by chance, my boy?
I say perfectly still.
Strong silent type. I love it. Now, while they're doing that, what is Marcus doing? And what's Dahlia doing?
I want to gauge the, I guess, general sense of the servers, because my typicality is I don't particularly like people being like preyed upon. So I want to gather whether it's like they're here willingly, or what most of the servers' vibes are. At least just kind of like walking around.
You can give me wits in either awareness or investigation, or even streetwise, whichever's higher.
Would I be able to use insight?
Yeah. You can give me insight for sure.
And that's wits.
Wits and insight. Yep.
2 successes.
They don't seem like they're being forced to do anything they don't want to do, and you also see they're being tipped quite well.
Okay.
I mean, if anything, if you weren't aware this was a vampire party, it seems like they look like they're the staff at like any bullshit rich people soiree.
Okay.
But they don't seem distressed.
All right.
Got the eyes wide shut, masks or something.
What that is basically, well, no, actually, you can see their faces even. And while you're doing this, that woman that looks like a giant moth comes up and says, I can tell that you're the caring, compassionate type. Don't worry, I assure you they are very well cared for. Were they not, it would ruin the bouquet. And again, standing next to you, she's like a 6'7" moth person. And when you see up close to her, even though she's covered in this white fur and she's wearing this gorgeous gown, her shoulders are like bowling balls. Like underneath the fluff, she's like made out of stone. But she's very elegant, and she's holding this rat the size of a chihuahua. And she says, Persephone quite likes you. So I thought I would come and say hello. Anyone Persephone likes must not be all bad.
Pleasure to meet you.
Now, sir, and you see she leans in and you hear her sniff, and the proboscis actually comes out a little bit. And she says, you're not so old as to have forgot your manners and how to properly greet a lady, are you?
Apologies, ma'am, but I think we're from a different time.
And she looks at you and she says, my boy, I've got shoes older than you. Fine. We'll do it your way. Oh, my name is Dempsey Arsino. I'm a long-suffering frontier woman in need of someone to rescue me and help me. I'm so helpless. Won't you help me? So helpless. And she looks down at the rat, and the rat rolls over like it's helpless too.
Well, ma'am, if you are in need of help, I'm sure I could do something, but you seem like you have everything taken care of on your own, right?
Yes, but perhaps I can be of some assistance to you. You seem fascinating, but I refuse to do anything until you properly introduce yourself and ask a lady her name.
Well, my name is Marcus. Pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
Enchanté, Marcus, and she just holds her hand out.
I take it and shake it.
When she holds her hand out, she is wearing a black glove that comes up like to the elbows. You shake it because she very much lays it on, and when you shake it, she goes, let me think, 106.
Thereabouts.
You have a very turn-of-the-century Dust Bowl aesthetic, but I'm not one to judge. My name is Dempsey Arsino, and I've already introduced you to Persephone. And clearly you don't belong here, which means you're interesting. And when she says that, Dahlia, what are you doing during all of this?
Dahlia Dahlia has been kind of sitting in the back, monitoring everyone. I want to watch out for my friends coming under any sort of threat. And aside from that, I'm watching that fucking door. It caught my attention, and I cannot look away from it other than to check on them back to the wall.
ADHD maxing.
Is your taking all of this in, you see two of the younger kindred that you'd clocked come up to you, and you see they're like going back and forth, like sort of bickering amongst themselves with that reaction that again you're quite used to. And they walk up, they're like, excuse me, it's we were just discussing amongst ourselves. Are you Dahlia, the Dahlia?
I am indeed. I did not bring a pen along with me, but I'm sure you would like an autograph.
Oh, we don't do autographs, no. But it is very good to meet you. My name, the man says, I'm Fleet Jernigan. This is my beloved Besser Dyson, and she just sort of curtsies, and he goes, we were just wondering, have you perhaps sold the film rights to your works? We have quite a number of fingers and a number of pies, and we might be able to help you go to the next level. There's no reason that she who shall not be named over in England should make all the money, right? We need somebody like you.
I very specifically keep looking past them to keep an eye on my group, not letting them distract me. And
when you do that, you see they look at each other, and the young woman moves in front of you, and she goes, "Is something wrong?"
Does it feel like real intentional?
She's definitely trying to stay in your face, but she doesn't seem hostile. It's more like these people
like
aren't
she's trying to
used
distract me.
No, these people aren't used to hearing no. It's like, what do you mean there's something more interesting than us? That's not a thing. So,
you are going to have to take that up with the publishing house. That is, unfortunately, I've passed those kind of rights on to them, and you'll have to excuse me, please. And I push past them, physically move them out of my way.
As you start pushing past, you're like, well, we could just buy the publishing house. Do they know about your affliction? You're one of them, right? You're one of the moon children, right? What's that word? What do they call it? Malkavian. And when they say that, there's definitely humans, like humans within earshot when they say that. That's what they called it, right? You're the ones that are, what was it? Oh, no, they said what we're supposed to be politically correct. You're the ones that are different, that you see things. You see the future. Can you read my future? And you see Besser very much like holds her hand out, palm up, like you're a palm reader. And she goes, oh, can you read my future? How delicious.
I think everyone in the room, just like Esther said, clocked the word condition from wherever they were. And we're all watching. I would imagine we're all watching, unless anybody doesn't want to, this exchange.
I have a feeling I will just piss off the woman more if I turn away from her.
I get the feeling if I let up on this sleazy producer and I get out of his face, I might regret it. For my own personal selfish sake of harassing this.
I respect that.
I will say that Rainey Hodgson does look in their direction, and he goes like, those two, Ventru and Young and Rich, they think they can just swing their bank account around like a cock. And you know the worst part is most of the time it works for them. Assholes.
Not everyone can have a great personality like me. I just grab his shoulder like real tight.
Oh, listen, I'm not, again, I said I wasn't casting you.
I'm not asking.
Look, I was having a conversation with a young lady, and you've been quite rude in your interruption.
The way you were having that conversation seems to imply you were probably bounced out of Hollywood. You have a vibe.
Valencia and Warren, you all are standing there, and even though people's heads are on swivels all over the room, this woman in the green feathers in front of you seems wholly unflappable.
Oh, for that.
She says, and she looks at you, Warren, and she says, I don't believe I've had the pleasure, cousin. Elegy Twain.
Warren Grimble. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Warren, what's your middle name, Warren?
Oh, that would be John. Warren John Grimble.
Maybe you should just start calling yourself Warren John. I don't know that Grimble is a very true. I'm from the House of Grimble.
Well,
Right.
I sure do appreciate your input there. You clearly got a lot going on. You clearly have quite a lot of sway around here. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. Sure do appreciate it.
And I'm sorry, my young darling. And she like looks you up and down, and like immediately clocks what your clothes are. She's like,
Yeah.
lovely. I mean, now are these vintage or did you acquire them when they were new?
Oh no, to be perfectly honest with you, I took these right off a rack on my way here. I
believe the latter, to answer your question, and thank you for asking. We were quite excited to make it to this wonderful soiree. It's the first time I've been to one of these, so I was hoping to get from the lady in charge.
Did he say off the rack?
It was a private rack, but yes.
Oh, like your personal shopper brought out a rack of clothes. Oh,
Yes.
I thought for a moment he was.
I apologize for the confusion.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Imply. Oh,
Background sweating.
yeah.
I'm just holding Warren's hand like I got you.
Just death grip it.
So, I get the distinct impression this is your first circulatory system event.
Yes. And we were quite excited.
She looks at you and she says, I think I've got just the thing. And you see, she just motions with her hand. Now, again, this is basically a club. There's lights, there's music, there's everything. But she just sort of motions, and one of the people stops and turns and comes towards you. Valencia, we've established that you're around 100 years old or so, right?
Correct.
Where are you from originally?
I do think the States, but I didn't think what. Probably, honestly, I think she's from where, like, I know this is like Texas, probably something like that originally.
No wrong answer. Like rural Texas or metropolis Texas?
Metropolis. This woman, not a country girl.
She comes towards you, and she is wearing a very country couture type outfit. She's got the vest, the boots, the rhinestones, the big hair, and everything, but you still know this outfit was very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
In Elegy reaches and takes one of the goblets and hands it to you, and she's like, I believe you will find this vintage especially pleasing.
I thank you.
Do you drink it?
I do.
When you drink it, give me a willpower save.
Ooh.
Not save, willpower check. Check.
Just got
game.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, just grab the steak knife off the table as you're walking by. Yeah.
That is.
It's from a stranger.
That is 2 successes.
What would have been a very good day in Valencia's life, in her mortal life?
I think because she was she was young, like in 20s, 30s, 40s. Like she was in the youngest, like she get expressed at in her 20s. So I think it was not like the 50s, like right before the embrace. Like I think when things started kind of going back to normal. Because
like post-depression?
Post-depression, post-World War II.
You remember when you take a sip of this goblet, a ticker tape parade of the soldiers coming home. You feel the sun on your face. You hear your mother's laughter. You hear your siblings clapping.
Mhm.
You feel your heart swelling with pride and relief in the hope that like a new day is dawning. And even unbidden, you feel your pulse start to beat in your chest. And just like that, it passes. And with 2 successes, you kind of look at this woman and you look at the goblet. You definitely want more, but you can fight it.
Mhm. Well, you certainly
But
get the best.
it's the clearest glimpse of not just your previous life, but a truly wonderful time in your previous life.
Yes.
It's like you were there, if only for a moment.
I definitely like look at the glass with a smile, and I just go, "You really do get the best."
And Elegy says that's what we actually are selling here. We're selling experiences.
I see.
The moment
Meanwhile-
Valencia
oh, yeah,
says that, I'm immediately like, "Oh, can I have some?"
Mm, mm, mm.
I don't know if this will
I
be
think,
to your taste.
Yes, for you, Warren. And she motions slightly differently, but a big barrel-chested man that is somewhere between retired high school football coach and dad just kind of like lumbers up also and holds out the tray. This time Elegy doesn't touch it, but she says,
I kind of look to Valencia for like confirmation that,
I nod and
should
like, I
drink
got
this.
you.
and I guzzle this down.
Same thing, give me willpower.
All right. That is going to be just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
We'll, there we go. Okay.
I like it. That's a very cool concept.
Okay. That is going to be, 2 successes.
2 is enough. Warren, for you, this is going to be slightly different. First of all, to what extent is the Midwest good old dad real, and to what extent is it a facade?
Oh no, this is actually his life. He grew up just a normal guy in Minnesota. So this whole vampire thing, this is actually real, not new, but he's like kept it at bay for as long as possible. So no, he's Minnesota through and through.
Warren, you see something slightly different. You see, I know you have a wife. How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
You see your wife. She's older, still beautiful. She has just a couple of streaks of gray to her hair, the faintest hints of crow's feet starting to appear around her eyes, but she looks like she may be 5-10 years older, max. Your children are clearly grown. And you also see grandchildren gathered all around you. And you hear your wife say to you, "Well, honey, I don't know how I thought we'd ever get here, but apparently it's your 107th birthday. Wasn't that 11-7 like Bilbo? Wasn't that what that was, kids? So we got a Hobbit themed barbecue out back set up, it's nice and cold, just like you like it. And thank you for being the patriarch." And your son speaks up, the paterfamilias. Yeah, the paterfamilias of our clan that we have grown and been so blessed and so abundant. I never thought I'd live to be this age for certain. I gotta tell you, I thought that at first this was just a curse from the devil, but it's actually gone pretty well for us on balance, huh? And as you feel that sort of swell of pride inside of you, of like, hey, all right, this worked out, it's gone. Again, with 2 successes, you definitely want more.
Right.
But you can control it.
With that, I will kind of stand there stunned, looking at the empty vessel, and
I just want to squeeze your hand, like, you okay?
I'm just gonna he slowly turns his head back to you, and you kind of see his eyes go a little bit kind of beady, and he says, I love this place.
You see, she holds her hand out just to the side. And as she just does this, a person in black just walks by and puts a card on her palm. And she hands it over to you, Warren. And she says, we don't make it up north often, but there you go. Access to one of our upcoming events that you're supposed to be at. Because you all aren't supposed to be at this one. And when she says that, she does like curtsy very slightly and turns her back on the both of you like she's gonna walk away. Marcus, Dempsey, the moth woman next to you, she says, well, now that's complicated because obviously Elegy Twain made you when you came in the door. She knows everyone who's supposed to be here, and more importantly, who's not supposed to be here. She's leaving, but they still have their heads. That's good. She gave him a card. Very good. But she's walking away, which is probably not ideal. So tell me, quickly, I'll make a deal with you. If you don't lie to me, I won't lie to you. Why are you here?
Well, I'm supposed to get something for someone, but I haven't come across it yet, so.
Okay. And she just like hooks her arm through yours in what looks like, a very pleasant, we're just going to walk with each other, right? But when she hooks your arm, she's like titanium. It's like a clamp has just come down. She doesn't hurt you, but it's just sort of like, well, this arm's mine now. And she's like, come with me. And when she starts walking, it's almost like she would drag you or take your arm off. But it's like she exerts zero effort. And she comes walking right up to you, Kurt. And the Nosferatu have a slang. It is almost like a thieves' cant, which I'm going to direct message. I'm going to say out loud what she says, Kurt, but I'm going to direct message to you what it means. She walks up to you and she says, well, isn't this a colorful assemblage? I didn't realize there was so many doors to this place. That's what she says out loud, Kurt, but that's what you understand she means.
Oh,
And you all, and and Esther is there, and Adrian are there, and you do see this, a very unique looking woman that just has Marcus by the arm. All appearances are like she just very gently has done it. Marcus, you couldn't get away from her even if you wanted to.
So, we're just here for a good time, really. That's the tall and the short of it. We were told to come here, just come have a good time.
Is it your intent to lie to her, or are you trying to tell her something in code?
That's why I'm just straight up lying.
Perfect. All right, so I need either, actually for this, it's manipulation, if you're lying to her. It's going to be manipulation and subterfuge. Meanwhile,
Okay, that's a 5.
Dahlia, while you're rolling that manipulation and subterfuge, Dahlia, you see this woman has gone over towards your friend, and you see that the woman of the hour has walked away from Valencia and Adrian, but these two young kindred that are talking about you being a Malkavian are still between you and them. And they're like, is that offensive? I'm sorry. Listen, we were told that we are from the clan of kings and that we rule by divine right, which is wonderful for us, really. And I just feel like any good rulers, we should share.
I push past them. I push right past them. I beeline towards my party.
I sort of turn looking to see who's doing what, and I see Dahlia coming, and I just kind of try to keep it nonchalant, because again, the point isn't to draw any more. The idea was a distraction, not
I'm like pushing through the crowd, and I like stop and slow down and like lower
Yeah, I
my
just sort of give a sign like, calm
shoulders.
down.
They follow. They don't grab you. They don't do anything hostile. Again, and this is the last thing that I will tack on to those 2 crits. They're just not used to being told no. It's like you're speaking another language to them. So even when you pass
Okay,
by,
can
they're
I
like,
see them following, and then again,
oh, yeah.
I'm also just slightly I'm looking at Warren like, are you okay?
I mean, okay, so the publishing house will purchase. I mean, did you want to run it? I didn't think you did. We can get you a film studio.
Is it possible that I could see it or overhear this conversation?
Do we need to make a donation to some mental health?
I am done speaking with you. We are done with this conversation. No.
Okay, I would like to butt in. I would like to butt in.
You, please.
I would like to butt in.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, sorry. I noticed you saw everything good?
Everything will be good once I walk away and these 2 lovelies do not continue to follow me.
In that moment, those of you standing there and part of that group feel this ominous, sick feeling of dread just wash through you. However, what did you get on that attempt to lie to her, Kurt?
I got 3 successes, 2 fails. I feel like that's a bad.
She just sort of nods for a second, and she says, she looks at you again, and this time, hold on a second. She looks at you again, and she goes, You know, I didn't drive here myself. And I'm not sure where it is that I'm heading afterwards, is what she says outside, but you know that's what she means, Kurt.
Meanwhile, I am talking to the Hollywood exec about the journey I've been on since being embraced about fighting toxic masculinity, and I'm sure he's not receptive.
He is, because he has no idea you mean him. So he very much is like, I can sell that. Yeah, no, that's in right now. We'll have you going viral on TikTok. And I mean, I can sell this, you know. And you other ones could be in something also.
Hey, Nosferatu is one of the best-selling films of the year. You owe it to me.
They're absolutely right. But I think you're missing the point of what I'm saying. And then
he's like, no, I'm sure what you're saying is fascinating. Listen, if you're going to make it in Hollywood, you have to understand something. Sometimes just be quiet and let people look at you. Okay, champ? And you see, the woman has like made it away. Like she's still doing her job, but he's very much like, however, Kurt, how are you going to respond to what you know she meant?
I'm just gonna kind of like awkwardly just scared shitless.
So, and you see she just sort of like loops her arm through you too. So to anyone looking, she's just kind of standing there with both of them. But the same thing, you just kind of feel it like, she's not hurting you, but it's like she like has you. And
I
it's
think
like,
you should buy me a drink before you touch me like this.
You know, it is a bit forward of me, but you hurt Persephone's feelings. And this rat crawls over onto your shoulder. She goes, how are you going to make it up to my baby? And as she gets close, you see this rat has a collar covered in diamonds that is probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars as it gets close up to you. And he goes, listen, okay, get close. Wait, hang on. You there, and she points at you, Adrian. Yeah, could you just stand just a little more this way? Just stand right over there. Do you move? She looks at you, Marcus, and she says, okay, I'm gonna give you this back. And she takes her arm off. I mean, like, let's go of you. And you see she turns and just puts her fist through the wall next to Rainey Hodgson's head and pulls it out. She goes, go near that girl again, and I will make sure that your skin is peeled off and you are cut into pieces and left out in the sun by the next dawn. Kay, love you, mean it.
I have so much to learn from you.
And you see his eyes just get huge for a second, and he goes, call me. No, I'll put all of you in. And you see he's about to go to the right, but the girl's to his right, and he like makes a point to go to the left, like
As he should.
As he
skitters
runs
away.
off. He runs off, I'm just like, call me.
She goes, listen, I know you guys aren't supposed to be here, but you're not bad. You went to that poor girl's aid. I know. If he'd gotten out of hand, I'd have done something himself. What are you here for? Let me help. I'm nothing if not full of information.
I am going to ask basic, like kind of code.
Mhm.
What's the best bite to eat here? The freshest, the top shelf.
She looks at you and she sort of leans down and she says, so you're the brains of the operation, hmm?
I want
And
to call it.
she says, well, the back room is where they hide the top shelf, and I might even be willing to share what's on tap. You know, if you can share something with me. If you don't know something that I would like to know, perhaps you would simply owe me a favor. I do so love being owed
I
favors.
might have a bevy of information you might want access to.
And she turns and looks at you and she says, now, cousin, we're behaving like family. And she does give you like a little shoulder nudge, but it's like,
Yeah, I slam into the wall.
Meanwhile, she turns and looks at you, Marcus, and she says, you're also forgiven. I realize that a man of your age knows better than to just start blabbing everything to strange women, but, you know, it's worth you learning how to maybe give a please and thank you. You know, you don't want to be offensive, I assume.
Well, to be honest, this isn't my scene.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's not his scene either. And she points at Adrian. It's like, but he's making the most of it. She looks at you. She looks at you, Adrian, and she's like, I think you should take the hat off, by the way. I won't do it for you. I'm not going to, you know, force you out into the open. But I think let your freak flag fly. It works for me. And she smiles with her jet black teeth.
I'm cowed, and I immediately take the hat off.
Dahlia and Valencia.
Yeah.
As you feel this ominous dread wash through you, you see the man that you clocked as a 60s era film star comes walking up, and he goes, pardon me, ladies, are my young associates here bothering you?
I turn to Dahlia.
And they look and they're like, of course we're not, Uncle Brady. We're offering to purchase her publishing house, give her film rights to all of her films. I don't understand what else it is that we need to offer. And he just holds a hand up for them to stop. And he looks at you, Dahlia, and he goes, apologies, ma'am, they are young. Are they bothering you?
Do they look panicked or upset or anything like that?
It does seem like it is slowly working through their reptile brain that something might be wrong. And you do also clock behind you, the big leather-clad bear guy is sort of like moving in behind them, but they don't seem to notice. It's like you really, truly, it's like it never occurred to them that what they wanted wasn't the most important thing, but it's starting to.
I put a hand on one of their shoulders. I look at their uncle and I'm like, no, they're not bothering us. We're just having a little chat. Don't worry about it.
That is very polite of you, Miss Dahlia, if I may. Big fan of your work.
Thank you.
I see the various Gothic influence. I think you would have made Stoker proud. He was a dear friend. Fascinating. In fact, I even have a couple of his journals in my possession. Um, Perhaps if I were to have them posted to you, we could put this behind us. Yes?
I think that would be most agreeable. Yes.
And he turns to the two of them, and you see his eyes widen slightly, and he says, "You two will acquire every extant Bram Stoker diary available at any market or auction house on Earth and see that it's delivered to this woman post-haste." Okay? And you see they both sort of like stiffen for a second, and they're like, "Yes, yes, we also like vampire stuff." And he's like, "Wait in the car." And they're like, ma'am. And you see as they turn around, this is the first time they see the big man. But he just steps out of the way, and they sort of like float, like scurry out.
Ah,
And
to be young again.
they are recent acquisitions to the family, you may say. They will, like most investments, I think their true value will be played out over a longer term.
I'm sure.
And he looks at you, Valencia, and he says, "I apologize. Was your night impeded by..."
No, I was mostly checking in on my friends.
And he looks at you, Warren, and he goes, cousin, surely they did not offend you."
Oh, me? No, as long as they didn't bother the lady there, I would have had some words with them if she gave the signal. It would have been a different kind of night, you know. But no,
Okay, easy, Warren. Easy.
It would have wounded me to my soul were you forced to intervene in a manner that I should have. And he looks back at you, Dolly, and he says, again, apologies, but it will be made right forthwith, ma'am. I assume a woman of your success doesn't necessarily require anything material, but is there anything that you need that I might give as a parting gift? He leans in, he says, "There is a very special vintage in the back that I could perhaps get you an audience. Perhaps I could get your associates here an audience."
Oh, I think we'd like that very much.
Oh, yes.
Meanwhile, back over there with Dempsey, she looks at you, Kurt, and she goes, "You've got information. I've got information. Our mortician here has information. I tell you what, I'm not a monster. I will not lie to you if you don't lie to me." And she looks at you for a second, Kurt. And where she's got that arm sort of around yours, she sort of moves out for a moment and kind of like reaches around, like sort of under your other rib. And you feel her fingers actually enter under each one of your ribs, where it would like basically just be a small hole, and lift you off the ground. And she says, "Cousin, we don't treat each other like everyone else treats us. Remember that." And she just puts you down and lets go of you completely.
Ow.
Clan before sect. Also, you're beautiful. Why wear a mask? Why hide? You are what you are. If you attempt to hide it, then you signal them that it is something they can use to wound you in the future. Never.
Because I really like masks. But name a file. Any vampire, chances are I might have some dirt on them.
When you say "I really like the mask," you see the rat Persephone wraps her tail sort of around your neck and begins to just like cuddle up on you, and she goes, "Well, clearly I'm the one that has overstepped here. I apologize, cousin. Now, for Persephone, I will allow you all one free piece of information." And she looks at you, Esther, and she says, "Although my cousin has paid the price, you seem to be the one that is actually trying to make something of all of this. One question, and I will answer truthfully. Full disclosure, I don't know everything, but I do know many things. You are muted, Esther, if you're trying to talk.
My question is, I am feeling a foreboding sense of doom. Do you know where that might be emanating from?
Oh, that just sort of a moment ago where you just sort of were like, ooh, sort of a big bad wolf is coming for me. And she looks at you, Adrian, and she's like, we do like a big bad wolf, you know. That was probably that fellow over there, McLaurin Brady, then true. You know, he just had to correct his pups.
I was
It's
afraid you were letting grow in here.
Is it? Well,
No.
that sounds like a question, though, so...
If you want me to roll, like...
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh.
If I were to share something with you, what are you going to do for me, cousin? Of course, you'll get a much better rate. No, apologies, everyone. It's how we survive. What were you willing to tell me?
I can perhaps tell you where I've misplaced the funds from a particular higher up bird.
She says to you, she's like, no, I don't want to take advantage of your goodwill. Something of that magnitude requires a little more. There is one thing that I'm very curious about. And she leans and she whispers in your ear what I just sent you.
Hmm.
I would really
That
love
depends.
Hmm?
Why do you need to know?
Oh, why do we need to know anything? And while they're bantering, over there, Dahlia, Warren in Valencia,
Yes.
you move over towards the door where you see that man in black standing there with the sunglasses.
door.
The
The door. I do sort of
The-
try to signal
yeah.
one of the other group that like we're going back
Sees
there,
into
just on
your
the way.
mind. It sees into your soul. Does it really do all that? No. Sorry, it's a Charlie the Unicorn illusion. You try and signal the others. All the rest of you that are not with the three of them, give me wits and awareness. A lot's happening in here, so
Oh, absolutely. I'm just
Chance to
trying to
see.
just because
Mhm.
I feel like if we split the group the coterie words
Mhm.
words
Artery.
artery.
That's one crit and one success.
One
Two
crit.
success.
I am trying to be low key about it. I'm not trying to make it like a big
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
Got 2 success, 2 fail.
Two success.
Oh no, are we rolling?
No,
I got,
she's
okay.
trying to signal the
trying to-
others.
I'm trying to signal
Got it,
people
got it,
not
got it.
with.
3 for Marcus.
One
Yeah.
crit for 5 total.
5 total. All the rest of you are just sort of fixated on everything that is happening here. Adrian, you notice the signal. And with that crit, I'm going to say you notice the man on the wall sends a signal of his own over to Elegy, the woman in the feathers, which she also sort of acknowledges. It's all very subtle, but you do clock it, Adrian, that both Valencia has tipped you off, but he has tipped off his people too, as they are headed towards that door.
To the best of my ability, only having worked with these individuals for the better part of an hour, I want to try to communicate that we're under observation without being too obvious about it. Just to
Now,
the
now I
three
need
that
to.
are
I
still with me.
need to know how is Adrian going to try and do that? I need to know.
I really want to know.
I need to know. I need
I
to
need to
know.
know how this wonderful handsome
I need to know. Yeah.
dog gang girl.
He's like, oh, God.
Yeah, I could go full the mask. Why
No,
not?
no. It is your character, good sir. I just need to know how.
Which I
Adrian
need you all
intends
to
do
know it's only been like what 4 hours, and I love all of these people so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And to be fair, wits and other things with reference to like the wisdom side of my mental attributes are not too bad. But Sam Lopez hasn't had dinner and he's not complaining, but that means he's not thinking clearly. So what I would imagine in my current state, because Adrian too is hungry, is he would, as the three of them walk away, and we're still in the presence of other kindred we're not directly allied with, I would just say loosely to the group, because I don't speak that crazy tongue that they used in Ocean's 12. That's not unlike Thieves' Cant and Nosferatu speech. Just kind of like, anybody else feel like, oh, this seems pretty obvious in a room full of others, but somebody's watching them?
All the time. It's because they aren't in the walls.
Dempsey's like, I love that song.
God, what a throwback.
You see,
I was there when that song.
She sort of looks around for a second, and she says, well, why don't we take this evening towards its most logical conclusion? And I'm willing to help on one condition. Each one of you will owe me a favor. Nothing too wild. Not going to ask for a life boon or a pinky toe from a loved one. Just one day I'm going to call and ask for something, and when I do, you've got to say yes. Do you promise? She says,
This is
Marcus,
Elegy?
Esther. No, this is Marcus, Esther, Kurt, and Adrian. Dempsey, the moth Nosferatu, is like, I'll help you, but
She's
you'll
cool
owe me.
as fuck, and I love her.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I'm just going to double check. Is this a major boon then, or a minor boon?
Minor, but essentially minor.
Yeah,
You'll owe her a small favor somewhere down the line, basically.
I'll
begrudgingly
agree
fine with that.
Clan helps clan.
Excellent. She also says, well, it looks like we are needed backstage. And she also starts ushering you all over towards, at the same time, you all just kind of arrive. And you see that man standing on the wall just sort of like looks at both and he goes, it's not really proper to let everyone in at once. And you see the other man looks at her. McLaren Brady looks at Dempsey and he says, well, we probably have quite different tastes, don't we, darling? And Dempsey looks at him and says, I seem to recall you quite enjoy a certain... yes, tonight, yes, we want different fare. And she looks at him and she goes, Brenton, darling, don't be all... Besides, is that Dahlia? And she walks up and she's like, Dempsey Orsino, oh my darling, such a huge fan. And she just pushes the door open and starts like, grabs your arm again, Dahlia, with that seam almost vice, and just like pulls you inside through the door.
I start
Through the door.
I start kind of doing a little like frame thing, and I'm like, you have just inspired so many ideas, my dear. And the moth lady.
You see McLaren opens his mouth like he's about to complain, or Brenton steps in front like he's about to complain, and McLaren, the Ventru, steps in between him, and he's like, it's a debt. It's fine. Don't worry about it. In fact, talk to me. How are the receipts for the evening? And all of you move into the back room, where you see three things. At the far side of the room, you see a block of a man, 6'5", shirtless, without an ounce of body fat. Next to him, you see a woman with an athletic build and bright red hair and piercing green eyes. And you see, like, from their arms, two kindred pull back, their faces covered brilliantly crimson blood, and they blink wildly and look at each other before just pouncing on each other, kissing passionately, in a very aggressive orgy borderline combat just right in front of them. And the two humans just look at them completely bored. But in the far side of the room, you see something else. Up against the wall, wrapped totally in chains, is a monster. It is jet black, almost so black you can't even really see it, especially because its eyes are closed, but its mouth holds open, showing gleaming white fangs. It is about 9 feet tall, with claws the size of steak knives. But as it is chained up, hanging down almost in a semi-crucified position, its blood is slowly dripping into a basin, which you see humans collecting very small vials of, not very small, about the size of this, that they are then putting in trays and walking away. And one of them comes up to you with one of those trays and says, "Ah, you're just in luck. Our guest here has regenerated enough vitae that we were able to recover some. Would you like to taste the wild?" And they sort of hold this tray, and I won't even make any of you roll. It smells
I drink it.
strong.
Yeah,
You-
I
do you
drink
drink
in.
it?
Same.
I
Like,
drink
the
it so
sentence
fast.
doesn't even finish. I'm just.
I think
Everybody that drinks it, just raise a hand.
I love doing shots.
Right.
Shots,
You-
shots,
I want
shots,
dinner and a
shots,
show, and this is the
shots,
show.
shots.
Perfect.
I don't know what this is. I don't know if I'll ever be able to drink this blood again.
Perfect. Dahlia, Warren, Kurt, wisdom checks, please. Your unspent wisdom. Marcus and Esther.
Oh.
And Marcus, Esther, and Valencia, rather. Oh, just said Valencia is or is not drinking. Not, right?
No, I think one person should be sober.
Well, while the 4 of them take shots, what are the 3 of you doing?
I'm.
Mark? Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say I started trying to find any sort of identifier because we're looking for hammer and screw specifically, and I need to know which one specifically this is. My assumption would be the
This-
humans, but I gotta double check before I bring the wrong person and this lady that kidnapped me. I was like, eh.
How do you intend to do that?
I would like. Hold on, let me look at my sheet.
Right, when you said wisdom, did you mean?
Willpower. I did mean willpower.
Oh
Yep.
my god!
I
I
had
was
a
like, I
feeling.
can't find it on my
That's,
sheet
yeah,
anywhere.
it's 'cause it's not a part of this game. Yeah.
Right.
And guess what? When we play D&D, I'm gonna say willpower, but I
Right.
mean wisdom. Yeah.
Yep.
It's okay.
I think I'm trying to
Just make mistakes and heat.
appraise which of these would fit. Because, okay, so basically, from what I understand, this Miss Schuyler specifically seemed to want a ecstasy, sort of like orgasmic reaction of whatever the hell this shit is supposed
Well,
to be.
You definitely watch 2 people feed on the 2 of them and then start boning past you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm more so trying to gain some insight on which one specifically fits that vibe the most and making sure that that's the case. I guess so, like either insight or hell. I would love to look for. I don't. Are these guys labeled? Fuck.
You can give me intelligence or wits and insight or investigation, whichever's higher. While she's doing that, what's Marcus doing?
I'm not sure what I'm doing. Out of my
That's valid.
perfectly honest that he is out of his element here.
Well, here's what I will tell you, Marcus. The lupine is definitely not here of its own free will.
Oh shit.
It's a lupine,
I felt like
but
that's
it
what was
is
happening.
not a lupine that is here of its own free will.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Right.
just pretend to
Okay,
It's a
I'm gonna use
plan
a
thing for me.
willpower.
Well,
Hold on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
send one.
absolutely. Just mark it off, and you can re-roll up to 3 black dice. Hang on. Marcus, while you ponder that realization, what is Esther doing? Because again, Esther did not shotgun the lupine sauce. You are muted.
I would like to try Scry the Soul on the people who were like kissing on each other.
On the ones kissed, not who they fed for, but the people that are drank it.
Yes.
Perfect.
So
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Braining. Who they fed from.
No problem. Then for Scry the Soul, you were gonna roll. I think it's you are gonna roll your intelligence plus your aspects.
See here. Intelligence and my aspects.
While you're putting that together, Valencia, how many successes?
4 after spending willpower.
To try and figure out who's
Hammer
who,
and Screw.
basically.
Yeah.
The big guy's probably Hammer, and the younger girl is probably Screw.
Okay, so it's the two humans, not the lupine. That's
Yeah, it's the human.
okay. Cool.
You think Skylar probably would have told you if it was a lupine?
Well,
I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Good to verify. Mm-hmm.
That's definitely
No
a lupine. Okay.
Hang on, let's
Oh,
resolve
okay.
this scry
Got
the
it.
soul, because pending how those willpower saves go, or willpower checks go, this could be headed a different direction.
Oh, this could also be. I'm remembering the dramatically appropriate pending.
Yeah,
I
5
don't know
successes.
what you're talking about. 5 successes.
That occurred to me as soon as we walked back.
I don't know what you're talking about. Any crits or just 5 successes?
Just 5 successes.
Perfect. With 5 successes, they don't try and resist. Do you want to try the brother or the sister?
Let's go for sister.
The emotional state is they're just sort of resolved that this is life. They're not particularly scared. Even as they're watching these like kindred now kind of violently fuck and kind of rip at each other on the ground, it's like it's nothing to her. Like the only thing she really cares about is kind of her brother and them getting through another night. The resonance of the subject's blood is they've got all 4 resonances, which shouldn't be possible. And yet they do, or she does at least, scrying her. They are not vampire, werewolves, or any other supernatural creature. They are under the influence of some sort of blood magic or sorcery. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and that is all you know. That is a not insignificant amount. Marcus, what is Marcus doing during all this?
So the lupine creature is not here against his will. That would normally prompt him to action. However, he doesn't know the full extent of like the disposition of this individual. Like if they make themselves a problem to others, he wouldn't intervene, but if they're just trying to live their life, he would. He doesn't know that, so he can't really make a call on this moment right now, because there's unknown variables to him.
Perfect. No problem at all. Dahlia, how did you come out on that willpower save?
3
Willpower
successes.
check. Dahlia. It's actually, we'll come back to this in 1 second. Warren, how many successes on the
3 for Warren.
3? Kurt, how many?
3.
3. Amazing. Adrian, how many?
In poker, this would be a 4 of a kind because I got 3.
Perfect.
I don't know how to play poker.
You do now.
I only know because of Balatro. Fun game.
It is a very fun game. I still don't know.
Fair.
All of you feel it's like fire. It's like rage incarnate.
Oh shit.
It feels wild and it feels good. It is like everything the beast has to offer if you just gave yourself over to it. And under the influence of this, you gain 1 dot of potence. If you've got potence already, you gain an additional dot. If you don't have potence, you temporarily gain 1 dot of potence, which either allows you to break bones or jump really high, essentially.
Boing or break.
However, Adrian, as you feel this coursing through your veins, you
Oh, no.
look at the beast, and its eyes open and its eyes are yellow. And you hear her voice in your mind. Real alpha. You want to be an alpha and not a bitch-ass pup. You gotta beat the man to be the man. And if you recall that bestial failure that we had banked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so real. I recalled that the moment we walked into this back room. I've been dreading this.
Hey, same.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm-
I'm gonna wait
I
for
made
you
the
to
decision
describe
I
it,
made.
but I got a thing. I got an idea.
Adrian, as you look at this creature hanging on the wall, you are not unreasonable, nor are you unfair. It's fucked up they chained up this magnificent creature. That is the second most powerful hunter in Los Angeles. It must be free and it must be destroyed now. Normally how this goes, with a bestial fail, you aren't even in control of your character, but I don't think that's very fun. So it's still up to you what Adrian does, but that Adrian does it is not up to him. It's got to be free. It's got to die. You've got to kill it because you cannot both be here at the same time. Somebody's
chains
got
look
to
like?
go in the ground.
Oh yeah. What do these chains look like?
They look like they're made out of silver, but not particularly heavy, actually.
And I do have potence, and I can use potence even if I don't look quite like me, I believe.
Oh, in the midst of the bestial fail, it all comes out. So what do you look like? It's this is as dark as it gets for Adrian. So as you sort of like shotgun this thing, and you three are kind of like, woo! Hell yeah! You turn and look at your buddy, and it's like, oh no.
Well,
To make a note, I'm glad I didn't take that.
Also,
As a
very
brute.
glad.
Hang on. Adrian, what
No.
happens?
I'm glad Marcius isn't here to challenge me.
I'm
This is
still
my
in the
hunt.
room.
Don't worry, I'm clocking all the threats right now. For you see, I tap fortitude and strengthen my skin and claws because I know silver might damage me otherwise. I tap the potence I just received from the blood, knowing that I might need it to break the chains. My claws. That's right. I have claws now. As my hands elongate, fingers growing to 3 times their length. And as my mouth becomes a maw, my back unstraightens and straightens again, and I gain another full foot in height, half becoming a wolf myself, but not like the pitiful one on the wall, unfit to feast on kind like myself. I dash forward and I strike the chains with one claw as I rake across its neck with the other, burying my mouth into its muzzle. I go right for its own teeth. It doesn't deserve them.
As you come lunging towards this thing,
Or
and
I try
your
to.
claws break the chains, you see the eyes snap open and they're yellow, and it just says, good. Valencia, yes.
I know he's fast, but I'm also fast because I have. What I would like to do is, I don't know if I need to meet him. I want to activate entrancement.
Ooh.
Because if he is focused on liking me, I can tell him to stop. And he'll probably, hopefully listen.
I would like to simultaneously do something, but I'm not as fast as them, I'm sure.
Yes, hang on a
But you
second.
got soccer dad energy.
So I'm not
looking up-
sure. It's
Look
not
at
like
that.
dominate. I don't know if I have to look him in the eye.
It is.
I have to
persuasion.
roll.
So first,
Yeah.
roll. You Valencia, roll your charisma and presence versus Adrian's composure and wits.
There it
Oh,
is.
thank God.
I was between 2 different fortitudes. One of them would have helped me a lot more on this, but I don't regret my choices. Okay,
That's
here we go.
okay.
Composure
And
and
you
wits.
can burn willpower to re-roll up to 3 black dice. But first, let's roll this first.
Hold on, I'm rolling.
WWED.
Yeah, go in. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay.
Sorry, I underestimated how many dice I would do. I didn't know if I was gonna roll this.
Mm-hmm.
Intrusive thoughts are coming
I'm
out
trying
at
to-
once.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh, we'll use this
Okay,
one for
cool.
now.
Let them
to-
intrude. Let them intrude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a will.
You can re-roll up to 3 of the black dice, not any blood.
I will also be.
Actually, let me say this. Each of you that drank the werewolf blood, you can remove 1 hunger, even if it brings you down to 0.
Wow.
I like that.
La-di-da. Oh shit, that's me too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I need to start getting
Okay.
different.
I can only use willpower once on the roll, right?
No, you can spend multiple points. You just won't have them for anything else, but you can spend more than 1, and it's still up to 3.
Oh boy, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
This needs to succeed
All right,
a
so
roll, babe.
so hang on a second. Don't say the results. Here's what I want you to do.
No.
I want you to both of you type it in chat. Don't hit enter. Just put the number in chat. Don't hit enter. And I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1 and hit enter. We're gonna see how it goes. So let me know when you're ready.
Okay, yeah, I will.
This is to everybody,
it's
right?
like
Or
candy.
just
It's like
you?
candy.
No,
It's
just
fine.
just
It's
the
a
2 of
one-shot.
you two are up in direct opposition.
No, I mean the chat. Is the chat open at the group?
Oh
or do
yeah,
we
oh
send it direct to you?
the group chat.
I'll go with it. Okay.
Everybody's gonna see this in real time. Just
Okay,
let
hold
me
on.
know
I gotta
when you
change the
have the number. Yeah, don't
I think
say
he
it out
means the
loud.
Zoom chat because he's
Yeah,
not
I do
in
mean the Zoom
Discord.
chat. Yeah.
Yep.
Zoom chat.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, you
Play
ready,
it.
Adrian?
Growing red.
All right, I'm gonna
Let's
say
do
3, 2, 1.
this.
I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1. Enter. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Enter.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh,
Adrian.
nice.
It was worth the 2
As-
rolls.
She jumps in front of you. She's challenging you too. She has to die.
That
You're
is
in the midst
in
of
fact
a
the case.
bestial fail. It is irrelevant. There is no. If she got between you and your target, she dies.
Hey. Also, didn't work. Didn't matter.
Oh, you've redirected him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as
Well-
you see, he jumps in front of Adrian. It is clear to all of you he is about to take her head off. I'm going to start with you, Dahlia, because Dahlia, Warren, and Kurt are tripping balls also. But
I'm just in the corner, like
Maybe the Bruja can help me. Maybe the Bruja help.
Yeah,
throw a little mock.
yeah, I can come up behind him because I figured well, first of all, couldn't ask the creature to take part of his blood anyways. So that's why I didn't.
I mean, you
but-
can. Lupines are intelligent. I mean, oh, you mean you couldn't get it to consent. Got it. Right.
Yeah. So seeing Adrian kind of flip out, I'm gonna assume he's lost it and try to restrain him from behind.
Give me your strength plus brawl if you're trying to restrain him. So you're going to try and restrain him. Esther, what is Esther doing during this cluster?
I am going to presume, since everyone is focused on the frenzy happening, I'm going to use this time to activate Unseen Passage.
Perfect. And where are you going to go? You easily can just be like, where are you going to go?
I am going to try and I'm going to actually try and talk with the with Hammer and with what's the other one?
Screw.
Hammer Screw. I'm gonna
Male.
As you move over towards them, this is objectively insane what's happening right here. And they're just standing there like uncompelled. But as you get close, they can't see you. But if you get close and you basically like whisper, you can talk to them and it won't come out of obfuscate. So what do you say to them?
I'm gonna ask them 1 second. Do you want to get out of here? In a whisper.
It's like, of course. Looks like that guy can't hold his liquor.
I got a 3 successes.
Strength and brawl also, Adrian.
Can I use this
remember to add your potes.
Can I use another power, or is that,
wait.
or have I used it once?
Not yet. You're busy entrancing.
No, you're fine.
Everybody's
I
doing
just want to
stuff.
double check because I know, like,
Okay.
when there's semi-combat going on, that matters. But
Yes,
I wasn't sure if that was out of combat. So,
Do I also add potence?
If you've got it, yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Had to turn on a fan.
Should we be rouse checking, or are we just partying?
You're rouse checking if you use a power that requires a rouse check.
oh shit, I did. I'm sorry.
That is, it's the same roll.
I succeed.
Still 3 successes.
Perfect. Dahlia. What is Dahlia doing during all this?
Dahlia sees everything going on, and
Dahlia feels
beelines-
great, by the way. Dahlia feels like really great, actually, like super great.
I am entranced by Valencia, and also immediately very worried for her, and I lovingly am going to throw my entire body weight at her and try to knock her out of the way to the side of the room, engulfing her completely in my own limbs for protection.
Wait, is that for everybody? I thought that was one person.
Give me your dexterity plus athletics, Dahlia. Warren, what is Warren doing during all this?
So just give me a little bit of a time scale here. From the moment Adrian kind of snapped, like, what am I even aware of right now?
This is,
Seconds,
you all took
fractions
the
of seconds.
shot.
Yeah.
Adrian looked at the lupine, lunged. Valencia, who is very fast as a toreador, jumps in his way. You see Marcus throws himself onto Adrian's back. Dahlia is trying to tackle Valencia. This is all sort of simultaneous.
Okay,
This game expressly is not like 6 seconds, 5 foot movement type combat. You know what I mean? It's all
a lot of things.
narrative.
To quote Jason Carl,
No
a lot of things happen all at once.
No problem.
Things happen at once. Yes.
I'm going to see Adrian going in for this clearly violent attack now directed at Valencia, and I'm going to say, "Oh, slow down there, bud. How about we take all that energy and direct it back out onto the dance floor? Come on!" And I'm going to try to mesmerize him.
One problem: you have to be able to look him in the eyes to mesmerize him, and he's run over there.
Not.
Oh, you don't? You got irresistible voice?
I do. I certainly do.
All right, then you can roll.
Thank you. Save me.
The green screen ate my finger.
For what it's worth, I had an 8 on that resisted brawl, including a critical, like a smashing critical.
Just one crit? Okay, so, well, hold on a second. You roll for that mesmerism.
Okay, so
Adrian, you were going to throw Marcus off of you, but what do you do with him? You can throw him at something. You can wield him as a weapon.
Marcus, I like you, but you're in my way. And right this moment, there's someone else I'm after. And there's someone in her way. To use a 2024 fighter weapon mastery term that I believe died in 3.5, I'm going to attempt to cleave. And that unfortunately will be Dahlia and Valencia using Marcus.
Incredible. You were going to do the move that we call beating a motherfucker with another motherfucker. Perfect.
I love people nunchucks.
EMFW,
You're gonna be Suko. You're gonna be little gorilla from Pong.
Now, before I'm able to take that action, I believe I have to resist something being directed at me.
A lot's happening all at once.
Yep.
I'm sort of going down the line
So
here. What
much.
is Kurt doing during all of this?
I have an idea, and that is going to be completely out of character for Kurt, but in this moment it feels right. He's just going to try and talk him out of it.
I'm not even going to make you roll for this, Kurt, especially because you've been a Nos for a while. When somebody flips out, it's past reason. There is no take a knee. The beast is in control right now. You would know that. You can still try and talk to him, but you're not talking to him. You're talking to someone that doesn't want to talk.
Dude, you just gotta chill. You don't want to hurt them. You just want to hurt that weak little thing. Come on, they're one of us. You gotta kill that thing. That's the enemy. That's the real beta.
Perfect. You're going to try and redirect him back towards the lupine.
Yeah.
Warren, what was that Mesmerize?
Okay, for mesmerize, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, one of which was critical, and I'm gonna throw a willpower on there
Okay, to get to what?
to get to a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with one crit.
7. Perfect. Seven. Well, one of the crit dice, or like two that equals 4 successes. That was 7 total.
Oh, not that. No crits.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So 7, but still 7 total.
7
right?
total. Yep.
Perfect. Adrian, what you need to do is now incredibly clear to you. And you take Marcus's body. And what did Dahlia get on that roll to attempt to tackle Valencia out of the way on that Dex plus
I get
athletics?
nothing on those things, but I did get 2 of the onks with the stars on them.
Oh, so that's a crit.
So it's like, is that 4 successes then?
Mm-hmm.
Or
It's 4 successes. Yeah, you only had 2 dice to roll, I think, and they were both crits.
Yeah.
So, Valencia, Dahlia absolutely saves your life. As you see Marcus jump onto Adrian's back, Adrian reach back and grab him and come whipping him around straight towards you as you see your life flash before your eyes. As Dahlia tackles you out of the way, just as you take Marcus's body and smash the lupine through the wall back out onto the dance floor, because apparently you've got to kill the lupine on the dance floor. And as it sort of like rolls, as it rolls, it just stands up, and you see the silver chains just sort of like fall off of it. It can't touch them because it like burns it, right? And it stands up, and it just says, "I was going to just leave, but I think I owe you a little something." And when it growls, you see the humans lose their shit, because werewolves have something called the delirium. Human beings cannot look at them. They can't comprehend it. It is a primal fear, like when you shine the outline of a hawk on a nest of baby mice. Something deep, deep, deep in our ancestral memory knows to be terrified. So the humans scatter, and you see all the security guards start coming towards the lupine. And you even see that man in the black robe produces a very long curved knife. And you see the lupine looks to the left and looks to the right, and it just says, "Meet me in the garden." And you see it disappears with an almost impossible speed. Like, it's so fast, it's like it's just not there. It's there, and then it isn't. Just
Ooh.
I mean, I know where my personal haven is, and at the moment, I don't think I have any cause to not sprint after it.
Adrian goes running. You, Esther, we see Hammer and Screw just sort of say, "Well, this is a good distraction, but are we just leaving this cage for a different cage?"
Quick question. The exits to this room, where are they? Like, how many exits?
You got a crit. You know there is a exit to the sewer out of here. It's how they get them in and out.
Would taking them through the sewers, like, kind of kill them as a
Not
human being?
necessarily. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's just sewers. I mean, there might be other Nos, but I mean, it's not like innately fatal to be in the sewer.
Okay.
I mean,
In
you
that
got me.
case,
Gross, but
Can I try to do one thing before Adrian runs off?
You can try. He's pretty fast.
I want to try to grab the homing beacon.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, doesn't he have that?
You know what? Give me.
I guess it's in his underwear, but
My
Give
underwear
me-
and
give
garters
me-
might have broken.
Give me dexterity and larceny. Dexterity and larceny.
Okay.
Kurt, you give me wits and awareness, by the way. Kurt,
Wits and awareness, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I have no learning.
Mm-hmm.
Delete all these tabs that I don't.
That is a fail.
Just a
I
pure
got
fail?
I got 3.
Bestial fail, I think.
A bestial fail for you.
Yeah, it's 1 on the blood die.
And no other successes?
No.
you want to use
Marcus.
willpower on that, buddy?
Marcus. You hear it. look at this bullshit. Look at this place. All these rich motherfuckers exploiting the working class. Look at, did anybody ask if these people wanted to be here? Are they being fairly compensated? Was that lupine here of its own volition? Or is that the face of the oppressor? You should burn this motherfucker to the ground, Marcus. Burn this motherfucker to the ground, Marcus. Fuck the circulatory system. And yes, that is a bestial fail, Marcus. In which you also will lose control and feel supernaturally compelled to destroy this place.
Okay. I'll work with that.
Kurt, what did you get on that wits and awareness?
I got 3 successes, 1 fail.
You hear Hammer and Screw talking to somebody and you don't see Esther. You know how this game is played. They just sort of like keep looking over their shoulder talking.
I'm gonna go to where they are, and despite tripping absolute tits on werewolf blood, I'm gonna assume they're talking to Esther.
You see Hammer just sort of goes, bro, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but I don't think you want to mix that shit with what we got going on.
I'm just trying to get you two out.
Dope. We wanna leave too. Great.
Okay.
Well, I think
I'm
there's
still
an,
cut
I
on the
think there's
floor,
I think
correct?
there's another one of you here. Yeah, you just got tackled out of the way. So yes, what would you like to
I
do?
just sort of-
As
I-
Dahlia
I-
has just saved your life.
No, yeah, I grabbed Dahlia and I kissed her forehead like, thank you, darling. Important, no, you were not entranced. You're not entranced. That was only on one person.
Oh, no, not entranced, but saw you were in danger.
No, I appreciate it. I just heard, I heard you say it and I wanted to be clear. That's what's happening.
Oh, no, that's just general entranced by Valencia.
Oh,
No roll
Attractive
required.
women. no special features required.
Understood. Okay. I think this night has gone absolutely batshit bananas. Can we just get this done?
Dahlia. Dahlia, do me a favor. Roll your wits and aspects.
Wits and dun 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 dun. What the?
I know we're running over. We're wrapping this up. We have
No,
to bring
you're
it to an
totally fine.
appropriate
I could be
conclusion.
listen. I could stay up for forever, but because I have this screen on,
It's tomorrow. Yeah. It's future use problem. Yes.
Yes.
3 successes.
You, Esther, did you actually roll since the unseen or no?
I forgot to roll it, but let's.
It's fine. For our purposes, you are aware of Esther's outline talking to Hammer and Screw, Dahlia, and you also see Kurt moving that direction as they're all kind of headed towards the back of this warehouse.
And we're out on the Valencia and I are out on the dance floor.
No, you all went into the back room. It's just
we're on the
Adrian
floor
physically
in the-
knocked
in
the
the back
werewolf.
room.
Hang on. You're in the back room, but Adrian physically knocked the werewolf through the wall back, so there's a hole to the dance floor. But you're still in the back room. You never left the back room.
Got it. And okay, so I'm just gonna try and get us the fuck out of this situation. I am like grabbing onto as many of you as I can and following whoever is making their way the direction of the
we're
fuck
going to the
out.
sewers.
Warren,
sweet
what's
home.
Warren doing?
So yeah, to be clear, we're not allowed to just take these guys right at the front because that would be stealing blood bags, basically.
Especially with security now on the highest of alert, they may be distracted, but they're on high alert.
That's my
Walking them
thinking.
out is probably non-optimal. Yeah.
Into the sewers.
Unless the distraction is a sufficient distraction.
Potentially. Although it seems like they have an out back here.
Oh,
But
the sewers
potentially,
might
yes.
just work. Great.
Mhm.
Well, then in that case, I will just go with the gang down into the sewers.
And we
Then-
still don't have the homing beacon, correct?
Nope, Adrian's got it. So, as you are rushing them out into the sewers, Marcus,
Mm-hmm.
the beast being completely in control, you're aware they're leaving. You're also aware that you don't care. So what is Marcus going to do?
Oh no.
Well, the directive was to burn it down, but it's a warehouse. So
I would say you are where the spirit of it is just destroy this thing. Destroy it.
Just go
It
ham.
may or may not be fire.
Start
Fire's
stealing
great.
copper wire.
Fire's very thorough on vampires, but it's whatever you can do to destroy this place.
what is the structural component of the warehouse? Is it like pillars every so often, or is it just like the walls that are holding the place up?
What is it your intent to try and do?
I'm trying to knock it down.
There's you could find a load bearing pillar if you wanted to start smashing
Question.
through it.
Quick
Yes.
question, Marcus.
Yes.
Is your deal here pretty visible?
Oh, a frenzy is not subtle.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah,
I leave it to
I
Are
Marcus.
you saying anything like,
well,
I'm going to tear this motherfucker down?
well, Marcus,
Mhm.
I leave it to you how your rage manifests. Is it a cold rage? Is Marcus doesn't seem like a yelling, screaming type. You tell me what it looks like when Marcus
It's a
loses.
very cold rage, and his stature certainly changes from like the casual, carefree type to a militaristic drive to something. So he walks, and there's a purpose and a solidity to his movement and steps.
You see everybody's kind of heading towards the out. Marcus, very rigid lockstep, is headed back towards the dance floor, Warren.
I'm going to go back to Marcus and just straight up ask him, like, hey there, bud. So what's going on here?
So here's the thing, the beast is in control, so can I respond, or does it respond?
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of you being able to play your character, it's you. But as of this exact second, what the beast wants is what Marcus wants. It's not like you're being forced to do this. Marcus is
Right.
like, yeah, fuck all of these people. Yeah, you can talk though.
I don't know if he will respond, because he's kind of like focused. So he probably might acknowledge you, but just keep walking past you. Then there's probably like glossy kind of
Vacant look in the eyes.
there's a focus on something else beside you.
I'm just going to keep trying to figure out what that thing is. I'm just going to keep asking.
But you're gonna stay with him as he's
I'm gonna stay with him.
as he's heading out. Perfect. As you all are fleeing out through the sewers, even from underground, you can hear the sounds of sirens and helicopters coming along as you all escape out into the night, leaving Warren and Marcus to an unknown fate here with the circulatory system until Adrian. You get back to the garden and you've run far enough that the frenzy is starting to part a little bit. And as you come walking out there in the garden, because it's about 2 or 3 in the morning at this point, you see an older man in his 60s, but full grandpa strength. And he is just wearing tattered pants with scars all over him, all over his body. And he's just sort of sitting there eating an apple. But he's like closing his eyes while he's doing it, like it's the tastiest thing he's ever had in his life. And he says, "Listen, kid, I don't know if you have much experience with my kind, but I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I'm what you call a Shadow Lord, which means I'm willing to talk things over with you. The bad news is, because I'm a Shadow Lord, I will rip your leech head off your body and sleep like a baby and piss on your grave afterwards. So really, it's up to you. where this is gonna go. But because I am free because of you, one way or another, you want to talk, we can talk. You want to get killed, and you see he grows, but just a little. He gets to about 7'5" and about 400 pounds of just sculpted muscle, but he looks kind of like a caveman.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, we can do it however you want to do it.
At best, when I wolfed out myself, I never got taller than like 6'2" or 3, and I've sincerely come down from that. And I say, well, first of all, I hope you're enjoying the pesticide-free organic apples. We only do organic here. And second, I'm sure you know as well as I, even if it sounds a little different, that the voice inside sometimes calls for us to do things we don't necessarily agree with. I'd rather see the next moon rise, and I'm sure the same is true of you.
Brother, I'm gonna see the next moonrise either way. But you see, he sort of turns back into a normal person. And he's like, You ever heard the saying, beware of an old man in a young man's line of work?
More than a few times.
I didn't get to be old in a business where not many of us live past 30 by picking fights I didn't have to pick. So I tell you what. How about I do you 2 solids, because we don't deal in boons or whatever like you all do, but we understand owing. How about I make sure your little community garden has enough money to function independently for the next 200 years? And maybe I arrange, what's that movie? Little fight club. You can scuffle with some cubs, work out some of this aggression you seem to have. It's gonna get you killed.
I'm trying to see the downside here. Where's the hook?
Like I said, we're not leeches. A man's word is supposed to mean something. Oh, and just to prove it, he just sort of looks down for a second, and he's like, I'm not really the green thumb type, but what I can do is he stomps one of his feet, and immediately you hear thunder crack. And clouds come rolling in, and it starts to rain, but it just starts to rain over the square block of your garden. And he says, how about you never have to worry about a drought ever again either?
I try to pride myself at least to attempt to negotiate here and there, but this is the best compact I could think of, and you have a deal.
You see, he comes closer to you, and he just holds his hand out to shake it, and he says, word of warning, though. Don't ever square up on another one of my kind. Most aren't as reasonable as me.
I do everything in my power because somehow by drinking his blood, which I hope he's not thinking about, I cleared all of my hunger and I didn't get a single failed rouse. I do everything within my will to retract my nails, even back into the beds, to unsharpen my teeth as much as possible as I look him in the eye and I say, I know my place here. I think we can get along.
He just says, my name's Kurtz.
And something for all of you, I look him in the eye and I think about that for like 2 or 3 seconds. And I say, Tom. And if Kurtz has decent insight, he knows I'm being fully sincere.
He just says, well, if you'll excuse me, I gotta check in on some family. And he reaches back, and with his hand, you see it's like 4 claws go down reality itself. And on the other side of it, you see a beautiful forest. Almost more beautiful than you could possibly imagine, Adrian. But it does look like it's dark. And he just says, don't tell anybody you saw this either. And he just steps through it and is gone.
I just, knowing full well that the garden is empty and he is gone and there's very likely to be very few spying on me at this moment, I literally just go, holy fucking shit. And I like, scene.
And as you all are fleeing into the night, into your assorted fates, that is a good place for us to stop.